What's up, Peep Squad? Peep Squad is in the building, baby. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It'll be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart. My peeps, my peoples, Peep Squad is in the building. Let's get down to it. Let's talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac. Did you guys enjoy yourself? Did you see the episode? Like, Lord have mercy. We got a whole lot to discuss, but one of the things that, we got to talk about is, Candice. Are we going to see Candice again? Is Candice going to be on next season? Do you guys think Candice is going to get a contract? Do you think that they're kind of like not really here for her? What's up, Ralph? What's up? What's up? How you doing? What's up, Cage? How you doing? What's up, Raheem Charles? What's going on? I know, I got that thing, you know what I mean? I'm sick. So, I was like, I'm going live last night, but I wasn't able to, like, on my body. And Ralph, I did try the garlic and ginger, and I feel a lot better. I tried it earlier today. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. But in any event, let's get down to the situation. What do you guys think about Candice? Do you guys think Candice is actually going to come back for another season? Because it seemed like Andy was trying to give her hints, like, girl, you doing too much. Thank you so much, Raheem Charles. I appreciate that, for real, for real. And do you think she's coming back? Because Andy looked like he was upset with Candice. He was furious with Candice. It almost seemed like Andy wanted Candice to get it. Like he wanted her to understand the way that you respond to people, the way you talk to people is just way too much. And it's not working for you, because when I wake up in the morning, I go to Twitter, people are telling me to get rid of you. People are telling me to fire you. So Andy is basically saying all that. And, Candice did not get the gist of the situation. Basically, there was no apology. There was no I'm sorry. She was like, people just don't understand me. She was like, people come at me, they start ish with me, so I get back at them, and they don't like the way that I read. They don't like the way I talk. Basically, she was saying, I like to commentate and things of that nature. And I was like, Lord have mercy. Your boss was telling you, he's giving you like a little bit heads up that your job is on the line. You know what I mean? And then what was crazy is when Gizelle jumped into the situation, and Gizelle was looking at Candice like, yeah, Candice, you need to edit yourself. Candice, you need to just think about it, because when you go into rat-a-tat Candice, I don't even see you in there. I don't know if you are even inside. I don't know what's going on with you. And basically, Gizelle was trying to say that she's not mentally there. She's not mentally stable. Like when she gets into that aura, when she gets into that, I want to read, I want to take you down, I want to read you down to the ground, that it's not her in there. And then Candice was like, oh yes, sir, it's a little bit of me still in there. And then Andy is trying to tell her, like, calm down, like, you doing too much. And Andy looked at Candice like, how can you say that Mia needs to be grateful that you didn't go all the way in on her? Like, she's supposed to be grateful that you said your mother's low budget. And Andy was just complex. He was just like, Lord have mercy. Now he talk about that he don't want the Real Housewives of Potomac to turn into the Bad Girls Club of Love and Hip Hop, which I didn't like that statement, which I did correct him on that statement. But in any event, Candice is leading the charge to the situation, baby. So I don't know if he's too thrilled about seeing Candice another season. And also, Candice not bowing down or taking anything that he's saying to her. She just basically kept going, and she wouldn't stop. And then she turned around and said, after Andy was checking her, and then Gizelle jumped in and then stated about her mental abilities, and basically saying that she's mental when she goes off and she's rat-a-tat-tat. I was like, Lord have mercy. And then we all know that Candice ain't paying no attention to the situation. But what we do know is Karen went to the CEOs, she went to the directors, and basically she told them that Candice needs to leave her alone. She said Candice needs to get a 5150. She was like, you guys offer psychological help. Get her some psychological help, because this young girl is coming after me. She's attacking me. And as you guys see this season, Candice has not been on Karen at all. She let everything that Karen say or do, she let it pass by. She let it sweep right over her head. She don't pay no attention to it whatsoever. And that's kind of like, okay, so she already got the warning about that situation. Karen done already complained on Candice's behavior. And then you got Andy calling out Candice and saying that, you are the common denominator. You are the problem. You're involved in all these situations. And she said, so is it my fault? Andy said, you're the common denominator. So basically, Andy is blaming you, and you didn't fall back and say anything of the nature like, I'm sorry. Sometimes, I get overwhelmed because these people attack me and I'm hurt. And I feel like the only way I can get back at people is by using my voice. Maybe I can tone it down a little bit. She didn't say any of that, baby. So where do you think Andy is looking at when it comes to Candice? Is she going to get a contract? I think she's going to get a contract just because she inflicts, emotion. She inflicts anger. Sometimes she inflicts happiness from you, but ultimately she gets some type of emotion out of people that watch the show. So you guys let me know what you think about that situation. I was like, damn. She goes, you don't feel sorry for Candace? Lord have mercy. So in any event, while Andy, was saying this to Candice tried to flip the script, and then she jumped in on Mia, and she said, you know what, Mia, I don't like that you tried to accuse me of, if your mother relapsed, that it's going to be my fault. And then Wendy jumped into the situation and said, yeah, I didn't like that either. So she quickly changed that situation and threw it on Mia when Mia said that if my mother, relapse is going to be because of Candice. And then Candice said, your mother ain't going to relapse because of me. I don't even know why you're going to try to blame me and say something like that. It's not right and it's not fair. And first of all, you paraded your mother around here on TV for a storyline. So in any event, Andy's trying to calm Candice down and say, Candice, you can't say what you've been saying. Like, you saying that Mia should be grateful that you called her mother low budget, and now Andy checks you. Then you take that lead and throw it back at Mia and say, what, Mia, if you accuse me of, being involved if your mother relapsed. I was like, Lord have mercy. Is she gonna get the picture, or is she not gonna get the picture? You think Candice even cares? Her husband ain't working. You think that she would care. But in any event, when it comes to Mia, she did parade her mother around. And I didn't like the way that Mia was dogging out her mother, basically trying to confront her about the past and everything else at the table, wanting her mother to babysit, wondering why her mother's so good with her sister. Her mother got a schedule with her sister. Her mother spent more time with her sister. When her mother got out of prison 10 years ago, she moved in with Mia's sister. So you guys let me know what you think about that situation. I was like, Lord, Mia was petty for saying that, though. So Candice should not be on the show, but those two stay on the show making other people's storylines. Lord have mercy. And her mouth is reckless. No grown woman would move that way. She isn't even given that way with the ladies. She has disrespected her husband. Yes, Lord have mercy. Oh my God. So what do you guys think about that situation? Do you think Candice is going to get a contract? Do you think Candice is going to get a contract for next season? No, Robyn can go too. Candice needs to be mad at her mother and everyone else because Mia was not the only one said something about Candice and Chris. Yes, sir. Hey, LaRonda. And I'm like, Lord have mercy. So, no, you got that situation going on. So I was like, damn, so what's going to happen with Candice? Now, why Andy mentioned that, there's plenty of time people, go to Instagram and Twitter and say things to Andy and other people. But why did he bring that up? Why did he mention that about Candice? Is Candice's job on the line? Is her job on the line? Is her job on the line? That's the question. Are we going to see Candice? Are they fed up with Candice? But she is a part of the entertainment, but it seems like nobody likes her. That's another thing. Only person that likes her is Wendy. Wendy's holding on tight to, Candice is holding on tight to Wendy. So what do you guys think about that situation? I was like, Lord have mercy. And then on top of that, when it comes to Candice, like the situation that she's having with her husband and her mother, like, so is Candice going to choose her husband, or is she going to choose her mother? Who is she going to choose? It seems like she done already chose her husband. But when the going gets tough and Chris ain't got no money, he can't pay the bills, is she going to run back to her mother and beg for money and cry for money? Because right now, Chris is upset. Yes, Miss Dorothy was wrong. Miss Dorothy did a whole lot. Yes, she did. Hold on one second. Yes, Miss Dorothy did a whole lot. I mean, she really did a whole lot. Miss Dorothy really did a whole lot. Miss Dorothy was out there talking about her son-in-law. So it seems like I don't even think Miss Dorothy wanted camera time. I think that she really feels like Candice made a bad decision, and she feels like her daughter deserved better. She don't understand why this man is not working, why this man is using her daughter, living off of her daughter coattails. Whatever, he sell food, he sell trays of food, or maybe he cater events and things of that nature. But she feels like her daughter's being used, and this man got all these kids. Now we know Chris is drinking. He done gained weight. We got Robyn talking about Chris, basically saying Chris ain't the same person that they originally met. Robyn is saying that, was it? No, it was Ashley. My bad. It was Ashley. Ashley was basically saying, Ashley was saying that Chris changed. He ain't the same person. He done gained weight. So Ashley was basically shading Candice. Excuse me. Ashley was basically shading Candice and saying like, oh, listen, like your husband Chris, he done gained so much weight. You know what I mean? He's drinking all the time. Candice is like, he's always drinking. So does Miss Dorothy got something to be concerned about? Does she got something to be worried about if her son-in-law is not working and he's drinking and he's taking odd jobs here and there and they're living off of Candice, paycheck from Real Housewives of Potomac and whatever engagements or speaking events that she does? And also her trust fund. And then now, she's a part of a record label company and she does have a song out. So does Miss Dorothy have a right to be concerned, or is Miss Dorothy doing too much? Miss Dorothy was definitely disrespectful when she went to her daughter's job, to her daughter's enemies that her daughter don't get along with that well, and she barely has a relationship with them. And as we see and we watch the show, none of the ladies like Candice like that other than Wendy. So the mother going around to her enemies, really, and her co-workers, and talking about how shitty Chris, how bad Chris is, this about Chris, and he needs to get a job. He's riding on her coattails. I didn't expect him to marry my daughter, then turn around and quit his job and things of that nature, sell the restaurant. And you got Ashley, she's jumping in there, basically calling Chris broke, a couch potato, an alcoholic. Like, Lord have mercy. Candace's mom is very messy and big butt troublemaker. Lord have mercy. Hey Dahlia, he sells trays of food. I'm thinking, well, he sells food. You know what I'm saying? People contract him and he cater events. He probably sell food out the kitchen. And Ashley, when Ashley said what she said, she was throwing shade at Candice, basically saying, you and your husband is broke. And so how can you ever come for me? How can you ever talk about me? How can you ever shade me and talk the way that you talk when your husband is gaining weight? And Ashley's like, basically her husband is older. The Grand Reaper is like 85 years old, and he's still physically in shape. He's going to the gym. He's working out. He's getting compliments from Juan. Juan is telling Michael Darby, that he looked good, he looked fit. Michael Darby's working out 5 days a week with a special trainer, some NBA player, some NFL player, some hockey player, baby. So in any event, Ashley threw her shade, and I don't think Candice picked up on the shade that she was throwing to Candice's husband, because a week prior to that, Gizelle was over there on the Real, basically saying that she will go out shopping with Candice, but she won't spend a long time shopping with Candice because Candice is broke. She don't got enough money. And so now you got Ashley saying this crap at the reunion, even though the reunion was filmed way before Gizelle got over there on a talk. So basically they're coming at Candice like, you got a broke down man with a bunch of kids that gain weight, bald, and he drink all the time. And Candice was like, he always be drinking. So in any event, I'm like, Lord have mercy. Hey, what's up, Erica? How you doing? Like, this is maybe he bailed out of the restaurant because before, that's one of the situations, but he ain't bailed back in. How many people calling him to cater his events? Well, he's probably doing shifts at other people's restaurants. You know what I mean? He's probably jumping in and doing shifts. But in any event, Andy was shady too as well, because Andy was like, so how is it, that you're having your husband as a husbander? You know what I mean? Especially when none of his expertise is in food. None of his expertise is in music or things of that nature. And then Candice, she jumped into the situation and she said, well, Chris manages me, manages her behavior, her emotions, her breakdown, her panic attacks, her nastiness, her meanness, her dreadfulness, basically making sure she's on tack. So he ain't her husband, he's her father, and Candice is his daughter, and he got like 8 daughters. So in any event, Miss Dorothy, you need to back because ain't nobody gonna put up with Candice. If any other person was with Candice and the way that she talks and the way that she's disrespectful to her husband, even though he's broke down, you already know Candice will be walking around with black eyes and shit like that of that nature. It wouldn't be a good look for her, point blank, period. But in any event, so, Candice didn't look good at this reunion. At part 1, Candice did not look good. It just seems like, there's never going to be no growth. Like, she's never going to get it. Like, she's never going to understand, like, hey, when people say edit yourself, I wouldn't listen to Gizelle either, but when people say fall back, relax, calm down, you're doing too much. Like, she thinks she's so big and bad, and she's arguing with her boss. If she don't get a contract, baby, she won't be broke because she got Miss Dorothy, but her and Chris gonna be on their knees begging for Miss Dorothy help. So they better watch what they do. They better watch what they say about Miss Dorothy, and they better watch how they act. Even though Miss Dorothy was wrong, but baby, she is your sole proprietor. She is your sole provider. And you guys are grown old folks. Y'all ain't no young folks. Y'all ain't in your 20s. Chris is damn near 50 years old, and he's been living off of his, mother-in-law. So in any event, hey Tia, what's going on? How you doing? What's up, Tia? So, it's a whole mess with this situation. So in any event, we're going to see how the apple's going to fall, how they fall for Candice, and if she's going to get a peach, or is she going to be demoted, because Andy basically accused her of being a problem. So he said he's looking at it now saying that, oh my God, she's the problem. She's the common denominator. She's the problem when it came to Monique Samuels, almost getting into a physical altercation. And then, when it comes to Mia, Gizelle jumped in and said, oh yeah, Candice, you threw some lettuce. You threw 2 pieces of lettuce at, Mia. And so it seems like, Gizelle is digging a grave for Candice, and Candice is sitting there being polite to her and being nice to her, but she was sitting there digging a grave for Candice and basically saying, like, when you go rat-a-tat-tat, you crazy. I don't even know if there's a Candice in there. And that's in the same time that Andy's confronting, Candice's behavior. So Candice, you better watch out. You better really finagle. You better really dazzle, the people over there, because Andy look like he is perturbed with you, girl. He is perturbed. And then let's get to the Mia situation. Lord have mercy. Is Mia a liar? Do y'all think Mia's a liar? Do y'all think that she embellished the truth, or she don't know the truth if it hit her right in her face? I was like, damn, Mia, you was basically out here bragging that you had this done, you had that done, all to your body, and now you get to the reunion and you don't even know what you had done. Like, girl, I thought you were smart. Don't tell me you brain dead. It seems like, she doesn't have a mind. It just seems like she doesn't have her own thoughts, and she goes with the what she can feel from other people. And we know that she was raised in a group home, and we know right now she went from rags to riches, and that's really a good situation for her, because in any event, what she went through as a child, people counted her out, but she's here. But at the same time, the way that she grew up, I don't think she has social anxiety, in my opinion, and that's why she do the most. That's why she tells the most. That's why she talks about her money. That's why she talks about everything, because she doesn't know how to have social relationships or relationships with girlfriends. Because if you grow up in a foster care, you grow up in group homes, it's always, oh, you better fit in. You got to fit in with others. You want staff to like you. You want the people in the house to like you. Your roomies, you don't want to get picked on, and you basically follow everybody and what they do, and you don't really have your own identity. And she wasn't raised, to have, loving relationships, because she didn't see that from her mother. She didn't see that from her father, and they were totally, outrageous, like the craziest thing ever. Her story is very sad. And knowing that, she got burnt with oatmeal on her face as a child trying to cook food, her mother running away, her mother going crazy, her father doing all types of crazy stuff, they going to prison. So it's very hard for her to, have social relationships if it's not superficial. And then on top of that, that superficialness that she displays rubs people the wrong way, and then therefore they don't like her. She is the Marlo of Potomac. Yes, sir. Patricia, Mia is a mess. Messy as Ashley. LaRonda Murray. That fits Candy. Team too much. Candice, leave Mia alone. She's not playing with you. Fact, she does all season. Like, it's just one of them situations where it's just crazy, because like if you work in social services, if you work in childcare, and if you work in a mental health field, the way that Mia behaves and the way that she presents herself, you can see the uncertainty in her. You can see the unsureness in her, and you can see that maybe the clothes, the money, and having all this done to herself makes her feel better because of what she went through as a child. But at the same time, she wasn't nurtured, so she doesn't know how to nurture a friendship, and that's why she looks like a flip-flop. That's why people call Mia the flip-flop. Mia, you flip-flop this season, but it's because of her upbringing, and she didn't get help for it. She just went on to, doing it and doing it and doing it well, and shaking it up in the club and going to barbecues and doing it with people. You know what I mean? So in any event, when it comes to Mia, I if Candice didn't talk about her mother like the way that she did, it would be a lot different. But she had to be. I don't think that she thought that any of the cast members was going to talk about her mother. You know what I mean? So, but she did use her mother there as a storyline, but also to tell her story, because, now you see, what she comes from. Now you see everything about her. And, I think she did use her mother a little bit for a storyline, and she wasn't thinking about, like, maybe these ladies might come at me. None of the ladies came at her for her mother. Only Candice. Only Candice did. And when you say somebody's mother's low budget, Candice doesn't mean a low budget that she doesn't have any money or she's living hand to mouth. She's low budget because of everything her mother been through, everything her mother did, her mother being locked up in prison, her mother, being with Mia's father and all that other stuff. That's the way Candice mean low budget. Not like low budget, like, oh God, she's low budget. Look at her. She got that Payless pocketbook. She is so low budget. She got them Payless shoes on. No. She's talking about low budget. Candice is talking about low budget of Mia's mother's life. So I was just like, Lord have mercy. Oh boy. And she brought her mother up on that show. And then on top of that, Mia confronting her mother, her husband saying things about her mother. That wasn't too good as well. They should have made sure their relationship was at least intact enough where Mia wasn't like going after her mother, or you left me alone, or you did this to me, I'm so hurt. Like, we know you hurt. Like, you ain't never told your mother you hurt. Basically, it just made it look like Mia was attacking her mother on camera, and she was having therapy sessions with her mother on camera for us to see. And yes, that's important, but at the same time, you got to know that your mother's going to be attacked. But she didn't think she was going to be attacked, by Candice. Candice came through. Candice came through and was just wild. Oh my God. And then Candice attacked her. Candice did not let up on her. And Gizelle is just lost in the sauce. It's just crazy. I was just like, And Wendy, she really stood out. Wendy was waiting to get into all types of situations. Wendy was waiting to get into anything. Wendy was there to attack Gizelle and Mia. And I was like, oh shit, Wendy's, to me, it maybe because I'm sick, but she just really seemed very unlikable. She just seemed like she's just too mad. It seems like she's just too mad that she's just like, I gotta attack. I gotta be on guard. I gotta put these ladies in their place. Like, Giselle's not that important. Like, it's been proven. We already know she don't want it with you. And it's almost like she's picking up that Candice behavior. Let me just keep going and let me not stop. And so, you got that situation. And let's get to, and what I thought, okay, where is Ashley? Okay, so Ashley started off, Andy was asking the questions, and Ashley was like, because Andy asked her, she said, yes, Michael called me Darby Barbie. I was like, oh yeah, he called you Darby Barbie, and you wanted to tell us this. Why did we need to know his pet name for you? You thought that was cute. Okay, you're his Barbie. So what, he pick you up and play with you when he want to play with you, then he put you back in the dollhouse and leave you there, and then keep moving, and then he provides everything that you need subpar, because I don't even know why you still living in that small condo. Nene League's son got a bigger condo than you, and and your husband got all this money, and he used to own the Watergate Hotel and DC or wherever the hell is at. And she was like, oh, he called me Darby Barbie. Yeah, he picked you up and play with you. What, do you think you're a Barbie? Do you think you're as perfect as a Barbie? Because if you was, why is he out here dipping and dapping? Why is he out here getting caught up in this and caught up in that? I wouldn't even tell nobody that man called me Darby Barbie, because that means you ain't nothing but his toy. He only play with you when he want to play with you. And that means that he probably never wanted to really have children, because you were supposed to be his Barbie doll. You were supposed to be his arm candy. You were supposed to just do that with him, and you end up flipping the script, and you bragging about this man calling you Darby Barbie when he's out here embarrassing you, when you're trying to get on top of him and dance and be all sexy and have on your leopard and shake it. He's too busy thinking about the toilet. He's too busy being excited by Juan and how good he is and how interested he is and how Juan don't play games. So is Michael telling you play? Is Michael telling you play games, Ashley? Okay, I thought that was like way too much. I know, I'm a mess, Your Majesty. She wishes that was a Barbie. She's like, because Barbies are supposed to be perfect. Barbies are supposed to be perfect. Barbies are supposed to be so beautiful, and everybody want to be a Barbie. You remember when we played with Barbie dolls? They had the hair, they had the clothes, everything was perfect. Every man, oh, I want a Barbie. She got a Barbie figure. But baby, you are far from that. And he don't even want to touch you. We found out that, he don't even want to put his hands on you. I guess you got to look like a Barbie. He didn't want it. So now we get the gist of the situation when it comes to Ashley, that the reason why Michael didn't want to touch her while she was pregnant, and he didn't want to have any type of physical communication with Ashley, is because he wanted her to look like a Barbie. And so she wasn't looking like a Barbie. She was looking like a pregnant Barbie. She was looking like a polar bear. She was looking like, a Cabbage Patch doll. And he was not feeling it. And so that's why he wasn't attracted to her sexually or anything of that nature, because she didn't look like a Barbie. So now she's back to looking like a Barbie. Maybe I need to start watching the show. So Michael had Ashley as a plaything. He did, Erica. Wendy and Candace think Gizelle and Robyn ×4, but they're only holding on to keeping a storyline. Facts. What you said, at Your Majesty, I can't stand Wendy. What did Your Majesty say? I don't even. Oh, Wendy is mad because D reminds her daily that she's Build-A-Bear with a new face. Oh, Lord. Excuse me, y'all. Excuse me. Oh my God, you said she is a Build-A-Bear with a new face. A build. Yeah, she said. You see Wendy hutching over there in that chair. She's like hutching, going forward. The breasts are wearing her down. Wendy thinks she looks so good too, y'all. Wendy think that she's top notch, that she is beautiful now. Girl, you didn't think you was beautiful before? That's why you kept saying, I got 4 degrees. Now you ain't got 4 degrees. Now you down. Now you bout it. I mean, Wendy is just ridiculous. Like, Wendy is like, Wendy's in the same category as Mia. They got issues and problems, and they wasn't nurtured to have relationships with other women like that. And that's why Wendy is only getting along with Candice. You come on, you got to think about it. Only person defending Candice, only person is holding Candice down is Wendy. You know what I mean? Come on, they're tit for tat. They're both vile. You know, Wendy's just basically showing us her true colors now. You know, I just really thought that Wendy was doing too much. Like, girl, like we ain't worried about like you do. Everybody husbands get talked about. Every relation get questioned. And yes, Gizelle is the main target, but the rest of them talked about it too. The rest of them talked about it. They shaded you too as well. But you hell bent on it. But in any event, we know Gizelle want Wendy out of there because Gizelle and Robyn finally see what I've been saying for a year. She came to take your spot. She watched y'all. She got close to y'all. She act like she liked y'all. She was tight with you and everything. I really want Robyn to mollywop Wendy. That would be the best thing ever. Oh my God. I would love to see Robyn. Because Robyn, I would love to see it, but we ain't gonna never see that. I know I got problems, but so anyways, so where we at? We're talking about Darby Barbie. You should be embarrassed by saying that, Darby Barbie. Now we realize why he never touched you. Now we realize why Michael never put his hands on you, because you were supposed to be this ideal object and you're only an object to him. And you forcing Michael to love you with the children, and that's not what he wanted. You was his Barbie. You didn't supposed to, concede and deliver children, because you were just supposed to be his object that he pick up and he play with, then put you back in the dollhouse, and he dress you. I don't know how he dressed you up, because girl, like one time I did a video on it. Ashley looked good. She was at the WB studio. She looked really good. I never seen her look that good before. But in any event, look at Wendy. Wendy can't even sit right. I bet her back got cramps. I bet her butt hurts. I bet shit is moving around inside her body. Lord have mercy. In any event, look like she got baseball, football sitting on top of her chest. Lord. She's just like, she knows she look good. She knew she didn't look good last year, but now she thinks that she looks the best, and she can read with the best of them and talk with the best of them, because she had to build herself together to get that, because she didn't ultimately have that confidence. But she said, everyone said, oh, she got a mommy makeover. This girl had twins, had her daughter. If she wasn't on this show, you know that she wouldn't have got a mommy makeover at all. But she's coming to take Gizelle spots, and she damn sure did a good thing last night. She came through last night. She was ready for Gizelle. She was reading Gizelle. She was clapping, and she was ready for it. She was ready for Mia, and basically she was the star of the Real Housewives of Potomac, reunion part 1. So in any event, and then Andy. I like how Andy shaded Robyn. Let's get to this. I like how he shaded Robyn. So when Andy shaded Robyn, Andy said, "Oh, Robyn, what do you got on? Embellish couture." Like, why he did her like that? He know that she ain't got on no what he's saying, her dresses as ugly as her hats. Is that what Andy's saying? That Andy did stuff when he said you got on embellish couture? Like, what? Like, was he dissing her? Because we know them hats look cheap and floppy, baby, and they don't look that good at all, point blank, period. So we're like, did he shade her? And to me, I think he was shading her. She was like, no, I don't have on embellish, but it's embellish, whatever. So in my opinion, I think he shaded her. And then he also shaded her for not wearing any of her embellished products. Like, why don't she promote her products on the show? Why don't she wear them hats on the show? Why don't she put them hats on the kids? Why don't she put them hats on Juan? And maybe Andy was suggesting to her, maybe she should start a clothing line, since, Target and TJ Maxx want to buy your embellished hats. Married couples can have a pet name. It's cute, Mary Jane. Going in. It strikes and makes you understand why Michael was acting the way towards Ashley, and every time that she gets pregnant, he's disgusted by her. And so once she loses, and Ashley was on vacation, Ashley was with the girls out there, and she was really focused on losing that weight and getting back to what Michael wanted. Like, she had no other choice. Ashley had no other choice. Like, and plus you probably didn't have no other choice as well, because she's on this show and you got to look fit, you got to look good, because look what Wendy did. Wendy went, got her whole body. She transformed. You know what I mean? She transformed. And now she had to do it for her job, but mostly she did it for Michael, to keep him happy. Because you think Michael wasn't getting it in when Ashley's pregnant? You think he was sitting at home? You think he wasn't out here in these streets? No, because he probably tells her, it's your fault that I don't like you. It's your fault that I'm not attracted to you. It's your fault. You know what I mean? So let me stop. Okay, let me stop. Robyn is a follower. But Karen shaded Robyn and Gizelle. She sure did shade them. She shaded them so well that they didn't even know that they was being shaded by Karen. You know? Well, we're gonna get to that. So in any event, um, Gizelle, we get to Gizelle, and basically Gizelle was asked a question by Andy about her fashions and things of that nature. Does she have the same fashion designer? Is she happy with him? Gizelle said yes, she is, and she's in love with his fashion, and blase and the third, and everybody laughed, you know. And then Wendy said, how dreadful. I was like, oh Lord, have mercy. Hey, what's going on? How you doing, LA? Like, the phone lines are open. If you guys want to call in, if you guys want to jump on the StreamYard, it's open. So, in any event, when we get down to this situation, so to me, Gizelle dresses as worse as she does on purpose because that's part of her storyline, and having a raggedy house is part of her storyline. That, like, she needs a storyline. She told us that, oh, Grace is okay with the situation. Grace is okay, you know, with me making fun of her, or she making fun of me about her driving, because she really doesn't have anything going on. And Tia, you're right with that situation. In any event, you know, so some of these things are gags that Gizelle does, so she don't have to do too much. Oh, I'll let you guys ragtag me. I'll let you guys talk about me. But at the same time, you ragtagging me and talking about me, I'm running all the way to the bank with the check, baby. So in any event, like, these are things that, you know, she don't really care about, because she gonna get paid regardless. You talk about her house, you talk about her clothing, you talk about her dress, and you talk about her hair, you talk about her neck, you talk about the way that she looked, baby. She's still gonna get paid because you are talking about her, and it is what it is, and it puts her in the conversation. So Gizelle is just a gag all the way together. She's just a gag. We gagging. And then Karen said, you guys cannot expect any improvement from Gizelle. The way she is the way you gonna see her. She ain't gonna change the way she dress. She ain't gonna change the way she get. What you see is what you get, and there's not gonna be no improvement, unfortunately. I was like, go ahead, Karen, handle your business. And so with that situation, then we get like a little shot of Nicki Minaj, and they're saying that she's not coming, which we know Nicki Minaj is coming. And then we get on to Mia and her surgeries. And it was like, damn, Mia, like, you was already out here in these streets talking about your surgery. You was bragging about what you had done, what you did get done. And then you don't want to, you know, really address the situation. So in any event, so we get down to that situation. So Candice is basically, you know, Candice and Gizelle was like, what is your first, Andy asked them, what is your first impression when it comes to, you know, Mia? And then, you know, Gizelle basically said, you know, it was a good impression, but it ended up getting rocky. So that's how Gizelle feels about the situation. It ended up getting rocky. So, you know, and then, you know, Candice jumped into the situation, and Candice basically said, you know, I love Mia at first. And then on top of that, Gizelle continues to answer. Then Candice jumped in and said, but she's a liar. She lies a lot. I was like, Lord have mercy. Here we go with this situation. So now, Mia, you're back in a hot seat. So basically, you know, Candice is calling out Mia, basically saying that she is a liar, and what she does is lie. And then they said, what did she lie about? And then so Candice said she lied about her surgeries, and Gizelle said also she lied about everything. And so in any event, and so Andy asked her, so did you have that procedure done when it comes down to what's down below? And, you know, Mia basically says, yeah, I did. It was like, so which one did you have? Did you have the rejuvenation? Did you have the chop? Like, or did you have a mommy makeover? And then, you know, Wendy got to jump in. She definitely did not have a mommy makeover, because I had a mommy makeover. So it ain't the same thing. We don't know what you had, girl. So leave me alone, Wendy. So You had everything. You went there and you got number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9, number 10, number 11, number 12, number 13. Then you kicked it off and had 202, baby. You was in there like, oh Lord, I'm gonna look different. The world's gonna love me. I'm gonna finally look like that Barbie that I want to look like. I'm gonna finally be accepted. Like, girl, you did too much. Like, you let us know that you are insecure. You let us know that you got problems and you got issues, that you got under the table after having 3 kids with the pandemic going on, and all you worried about was your looks and what people were going to say about you, and that's what you cared about the most. Anything could have happened, anything could have went wrong, anything can continue to go wrong, because once you let them cut you open, you being a very intelligent doctor and a professor, I guess you went against all odds, baby, but she made it. Wendy made it, baby. She made it, and now she's sitting in that chair. She's sitting in that chair and she acting like, it's all good, like everything is on and popping. Hey, what's up? What's going on?
Hello?
Hey, what's up? I don't know what's in your background. You got something going on in the background.
Okay, hold on. You can hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's up?
Yeah, because I'm on my house phone, so my cell phone charging.
Okay, what's up, girl? What's good? What's popping with you, Tia? What's popping? What's cack-a-lacking?
I was just looking at your live, and you said that people can call. So I'm like, let me call and talk about this show.
Okay, go ahead. Go in.
Yeah, I said you were just talking about Wendy, talking about her, talking about Mia plastic surgeries. But Wendy got plastic surgery, too. Y'all both got plastic surgeries.
Yeah, but Wendy's trying to make it like, oh, I didn't have what she had. I just had a mommy makeover. So basically trying to put herself above and higher. Like, you ain't above and higher.
I don't like that shaming. Because she got a plastic surgery to hand her look. She got breast done. She probably got more stuff done. I don't know all the stuff she got done. So you all look like the same person on the first season that you came on. Look like somebody completely different.
And a completely different attitude. Everything's different. She got them one-liners on point. She got the reads on point. She's ready to come in. Her and her husband been coaching while they was off a whole year to come in, and she is taking over, and it's Gizelle and Robyn's fault. They let her come in. They tried to sweet it up, baby, to get Monique Samuels out, and now Wendy's about to take them down.
Yeah, but it seemed like, to me, it seemed like she's trying to be like Monique. How Monique was at that reunion. I said, she must be Monique friend. She not, when I look at her, she not being herself, because in the first season, she kept saying, I'm a professor. She don't want to teach no more. I guess she got some money. So she did the whole 180.
Yeah, she got the money. She got the money, babe. She seen.
But I hope that money lasts.
Oh, it's gonna last because Andy said he did not want the show to actually turn into, Love and Hip Hop, and he didn't want it to turn into the Bad Girls Club, which is, shady in itself. And Wendy is the poster child of having the show be top notch because she got 4 degrees. She's a professor at the prestigious college, Johns Hopkins.
Yeah.
She's a commentator on CNN. She's in politics. So therefore, Wendy is staying, and there's nothing they can, like, Wendy has to do something so derailed for them not to like her, because they love her, because she's supposed to turn the show around. So they're actually putting Wendy in that Gizelle seat slowly.
Yeah. I said, sorry, but the people probably who went to school, who probably professor friends, all these other friends probably, oh, this show not a good look for you. She got all them comments, man. Why would you come on the show? That's degrading. Like this.
Somebody said,
where did you look at it? Because he probably want to do that. He don't want to be a Love and Hip Hop girls club. But I said some seasons they was fighting, acting crazy. Then you got people getting arrested on the shows. Like I was out there in Salt Lake, the FBI came after Chen. You got people getting arrested, like the Teresa.
Teresa got arrested, and then the other lady from Salt Lake City. Then you got Erica Jane and her husband stealing from the poor.
I watched the episode. Then you got Erica Jane and so many people getting arrested. They fighting. Since he be shading people, because I keep saying Candice keep complaining how Andy treats her. I said, stop complaining. You still gonna be on the damn show. I hate when people keep complaining. She's not gonna change unless Unless you get called out for it.
Unless
not by you, by other people.
Unless they pull her in they pull her in the office. If your behavior don't change, you're bringing the ratings down. People too much complaints about you. We're gonna probably have to drop you down to a friend of the show, Candice, or you're not on the show at all. That's the only way. And I don't think she's able to do that. Like, because
she need the money. Her husband ain't got no money.
If she needs it, baby.
People low budget. What is your husband? What is you? Y'all low budget. I ain't got no damn money. Y'all depend on the mother.
Now, if Gizelle say that you don't got money, that's bad.
Yeah. I said, because I said the thing about her, I agree with her. She said everybody talk like each other, everybody go low down. But I said the difference between, it looks like the other women, if they get to fight, they probably can handle their own. I don't think they'd be playing victim like you did last season when Monique beat you up. You play victim. You cry wolf. I don't like when people do that. You gonna pop. You got all that mouth. If somebody pop you in your mouth, don't be playing victim.
Oh yeah.
God can see me is not playing with her.
Yep.
He's not playing with her. You gotta leave that girl alone. She probably gonna be the next person that jump on your behind. That's Andy Cohen. He said try to get her mouth. Tell certain people on these shows get their mouth together. Like stop it. I know he don't, because he keeps saying he don't want to, because he keep comparing that whole thing that happened between Monique and Candice to the Portia and Kenny situation. Because Kenny ain't no fighter, but you got that mouth.
Yep. Okay. We gotta stay on the reunion. So in any event, we gotta move back to the reunion. And so now we're going back to where, Candace is calling out Mia, saying that Mia lied about her surgeries. And I was like, Lord have mercy. And then why did Mia sit up there and she was like, well, I don't know. I had this done. I had that done, but I don't even know what I had done. At first she was out here naming every surgery that she had done. Yeah. And then she gets on the show and she don't know what surgery she had done. And she said, basically her surgeon said that it's all down below. And so it's the same thing, and tell the ladies to grow up. So therefore, it makes it look like Mia lies. But also, I think Mia felt uncomfortable in talking about it because she gave her enemies more ammunition to use against her. And so now she dialed back. But Mia thought oversharing and everything else was going to be cool. The ladies was going to like her because she wasn't raised, to have social relationships. She wasn't raised. She was raised to get what you can get now and take it because of the way she grew up. So therefore now she's thinking that she don't want to say what she actually had done because now she don't want to be shamed by it. And I don't know why, like Andy jumped into the situation and Mia basically said that, she had some things done and then what's her name? Ashley, Ashley got to be shady. Ashley got to be funny in the situation. Ashley jumped in and said, well, didn't you have a C-section? Didn't you have all C-sections? And then Mia said, yes, I did have C-section. And then Andy, I don't know why you talking about women's aborti ports and things of that nature. Andy jumped in, was basically like, so then why did you need to have anything done down there? Why are you worried, Andy? Don't you think that was inappropriate? In my opinion, I think it was.
Yeah, that was inappropriate. I was like, why is he asking certain questions? And I said she shouldn't have put that on the show. But certain people try to come at her. I said, when Ashley came at her, I would have told Ashley,
okay.
My husband want me.
Amen. Hold on. We got a merger call. Let's see who this is.
Huh?
Hey. Hello.
Press 1 to send a voicemail.
Hey, what's up? Where you calling from? Hello.
Hey, MJ, it's Nick.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. What's your thoughts on the situation? You said Andrea Sims?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Would you say your name was?
Neff.
Okay, Neff. Okay, what's up, Neff? What's your thoughts?
First of all, I just want to say B1 to all our kinfolk in the comment section. MJ, I love you. You be going in on everybody with no apologies, and I'm low-key mad and happy at the same time that you do that. But regarding Mia and the pathological lies, can we just pause for a moment to talk about that?
Oh, quick. Go ahead.
Mia lies about everything. She's the one who brings up the topics, and then when she's asked to expand on it, she lies. Constantly. How are you going to say, you bring it up to the girls that you got your clip done, and then you didn't get your clip done, and then you don't know what you got done.
And then you never stripped. You was an entertainer and you wore ball gowns, but then you took them off and you was only in your boy shorts. Like, can we talk about that?
Go ahead, you talking about it. Go ahead. You talking about it, girl. You talking about it.
The constant lies. I'm just like, Candace had the right to call her out on that, because I think we would all like Mia a little bit more if she could tell a straight story. At this point, I don't know who Mia is, and I don't think any of us does. So when people in the comments talk about how much they like her, she's this, she's that, I'm just like, we don't even know this girl. You know what I'm saying? We don't even know Mia, and what we know of Mia is a complete lie. Like, she lies worse than Erica James. I don't get it.
Okay, let me answer that question. The reason why people go up for Mia is because of her childhood and her upbringing. So now if you factor in her childhood and her upbringing, you can see how she was brought up, and you can see why she does the things that she's doing, because she doesn't know how to have social relationships with women, and basically bringing up and saying that she did this, she did that, she had this done, she has all these things, that makes her feel like she's a part of the circle, but not actually really giving herself. And she doesn't think the old her, what she used to do and where she came from, is something that she's proud of. So she put on the airs just because of her childhood. So that's why people rock with her.
And I think the rest of the girls on the cast should call her out on that, because she's not coming in as her authentic self. Mia is a liar. This whole season, all Mia did was lie. Every episode, there was another lie. It was lies after lies after lies. So I'm cool with Mia, but I would like the real Mia to like step into the game and play. And if she can't do that, she needs to get off the show. How are you gonna come in your first season and just lie like all the way through? You came in. It was a big thing when she was telling the girls about her surgery. You know, I got my lips, my eyes, my nose, my ears. Like, okay. And then when she got down to the clit, all the girls, you know, they gasped a little bit. Like, girl, clit, like you saying that out loud. And then when she was asked about it, she was like, no, it wasn't that. And then it was that. And then the girls was like, okay, so maybe she got it done because she had these babies, but they were all C-section babies. So why did you really get your clit done? You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you're going to put it out there, let's talk about it.
See, the problem is what happened with her, what I believe is, she thought by saying all these things, and usually people with traumatic childhoods, they take on what they have now, and basically she thought that, okay, if I come in here and I say I had this done, everybody's open, blase and the third. But when she got the reaction from the girls, now she wants to pull back from it and not she realized she overshared, she did too much. And at the reunion, she realized she did too much and she overshared. And basically they're making fun of her about the situation. So, now she realized that, oh shoot, me bragging and me saying I did this and trying to fit in and trying to be part of the cool kids is backfiring on me. So that's why when she sat there in that chair, when she was asked them questions, she had no answer. She said, who talks to their surgeon? She said, my surgeon said to tell all you girls to grow up. Like, how do you not know what you had done? That's number one. Like, number two is you got insurance, you got medical records and everything else. You can just look at it and you can tell what you had done. She's a bright woman, but she knew that she overshared. She did too much, and now she's falling back from it.
All right. I mean, it is what it is. I agree with you.
And then on top of that, so we moving on to the situation and talk about, okay, so Andy, I think it was inappropriate that Andy asked her, so why did you have all that work done if you had a C-section? And then Wendy, Miss Wendy had to jump in, and Miss Wendy said, yeah, like, you and your husband's favorite position is missionary. And then Mia jumped in and said, well, we do other things. And so Wendy shaded her and got her right there. Wendy got her like, yo, you want to do missionary, because what did she do? She overshared about her favorite position. So she's realizing that she's doing too much, and hopefully she realized and fall back. And then on top of that, when it came to that situation, Mia we can say this too as well about Mia. Okay, remember when Mia said, you know, that on Twitter, she said that Candace's husband, that she met Candace's husband at a barbecue and she went and did something. It was a one night, whatever. We're going to use words because I want this video to be monetized. So she threw that out there, right? So like say if that situation was true about Mia meeting somebody a couple of years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and she was at the barbecue doing whatever, and they was in there with the salad everywhere. So you could say the reason why she did have work done because she's very open and she's been out there doing it with this one and that one. And we do know that her and G have people invited into their relationships that might be women and might be men. So she possibly got all that reconstruction stuff going on because maybe she's very out there, and then also trying to do everything she can to keep G. You know what I mean? Because G's out here in these streets. We just found out that he built the club. He helped build the VIP section and North Carolina so he could be up in there and the club and the gentleman's club. So, you know, she's also trying to hold on to him, and we don't know how their intimate relationship is because they already said they invite people in. So that's probably why she got it done.
I mean, I hear a lot of defenses about why Mia is or isn't and where she isn't. I'm just saying, like, can we just get, like the rest of the girls, somewhat real, authentic person to step up to the plate? Because anything that comes out of Mia's mouth, I personally will not believe. I'm not that naive to believe this girl. When you lie about stuff you don't even have to lie about. You bring it up and then you turn around and lie about it. So you was a stripper and she's open, she's this, she's that. Okay, if she's that open, she's gonna come out and say, yes, I used to strip. You denied, you lied that you weren't a stripper, but then you was an entertainer and it was high end and you wore ball gowns, and then you took off the ball gown and you was only in your boy shorts. So you was a stripper. If you're gonna own it.
She said she was a stripper.
You're that open, like how your fans are saying, "Oh, you open, she's real, she's this, she's not." No, she's a liar. If you're gonna come on,
a lot of them lie on this show.
But she's coming out right and lying about every little petty thing. You are a stripper. G was your pimp, and he took.
Oh, okay. You gotta watch your language. Watch your language. We gotta use different metaphors, okay?
Okay, I'm sorry. So you came up out of wherever he found you. And, you use your wits to get where you are. That's enough of a story to sell. Don't turn around and say I was an entertainer and I wore a ball gown. Like,
I think okay, so, all right, Tia, what's your thoughts? Go ahead, Tia.
Well, when it comes to the whole, I say everybody be lying on the show. You got Gizelle lying about, everybody lying. We don't know these women personally, so we don't know their real personalities. So, I said, I don't really care about the stripper thing, she a stripper or not. I don't care, because I don't judge people who strip, or any type of clubs. Because we all know them ladies going, shame them people that do that stuff. So I said, I like Mia. I don't got no problem with her. Because I don't know none of these ladies personally. I don't know whose story is real or not, because this is a reality show. So I don't got no problem with her. I like her because she spoke about her mother, she spoke about her upbringing, and it can help millions of people. That's why I like her. Cause she ain't the only liar. You got Ashley a lie about Michael. She always defending lying Michael. You got Candice be lying. Everybody lies on this show.
But I feel like the other girls, if they lie, and I agree with you 100%, but if the other girls are lying, they're lying about things to sort of defend themselves, defend their family, protect themselves. Mia's coming out right and just lying.
So why is Gizelle still lying about still lying about ex-husband? He said they wasn't together. She's still lying to this day. Why is she lying about him? She's still lying about him. That's not protecting her daughters. That's not protecting herself. You wasn't with him. You wasn't with him. And they called out on that too. And she keep on lying. I think in the Black community, like, because of all of our struggle collectively, because we all have different backgrounds, but the collective struggle is real. We feel that. We tend to, is that struggle love. We attract to the struggle. I don't have a problem with Mia. All I'm saying is don't lie about nothing. Yeah, but you saying struggle love, but Mia, she was in a foster home. She been through a lot. She got parents that was on drugs. And that struggle that you had a Black community too. I'm not worried about the struggle love, because that guy.
I feel like that's why, you know, we have a heart for her. That's why we're attracted to the story. But the reality is the person behind the story is an outright lie. Like, if you're going to own what you come from and who you are, do that. And then don't lie about petty stuff, because the girl Mia wasn't defending herself when she lied. She just lied. Everything out of your mouth was a lie. So what are we supposed to believe? And then we out there tearing down somebody who, like an immigrant, like Wendy.
I tear them all down. I don't give a damn.
Yeah,
each and every one of them can get hit, and I'm going to point it out. I don't care where you from. I done talked about Mia. I done talked about Karen. I done talked about Wendy, Ashley, Giselle, and Robyn. They all getting it. They all getting it.
Well, I'm saying, Mary Jane, we're more sympathetic to Mia than we are to a story like Wendy, who came through immigration struggle, who went through, you know, the Black experience in America.
Not we. Don't say we. I've been sympathetic to Wendy, but Wendy does a lot of things that I don't like, and it seems like she fake too as well.
I'm just curious about
how is Wendy fake? Because Wendy came popping off first season. She's still popping off now. We may say there are things about her that we don't like. But
so you're a Wendy fan. You're not a Mia fan.
No. I like Mia. I'm just saying, how am I supposed to believe what you're saying when you just lying off rip, you just lying?
Because before you address
you can't tell me, you cannot tell me Wendy got a mommy makeover. She got a mommy makeover to fit in on this show. She got a mommy makeover to keep her man, because her man Eddie was out here, and I posted a video of all the women. He was following everybody that did not look like Wendy at all, and he was commenting. These girls were half naked on their Instagram. So she can't tell me she got it for herself. She got it for her husband, and she got it for this show. So therefore, to me, she been faking it too. They all fake it. Karen fake being rich. Karen fake living here and living there. Gizelle fakes everything. Robyn's faking her relationship with Juan. Juan is out here in the streets. He is a free soldier. And they trying to bring a storyline about he wants a baby. They don't want no baby. Come on. They all lie.
I agree with you about that. Because like I always say, another person, they don't know what they lying about or what they telling the truth about. The only time you'll know if you know them personally. I don't know what they telling the truth about. It's reality TV.
I don't see none of them looking at the sky talking about the sky is pink when the shit is blue. That's all I'm saying. Like, I like Mia. Mia's cool. She has a story. Stick to that, and let's get on with the petty drama. But if you're gonna come out right just lying, the lies, it's just like anything you say, I'm not gonna believe.
I don't believe nothing that they say, but I know Mia's story is true. She got the scars on her face, so I believe that. And her mother got up on here and said that she was in jail for 10 years, and her father died of autoimmune disease and things of that nature. So we knew that she grew up in foster care. We know about Juan and how his parents passed away. We know that. We know Giselle's parents were, civil rights leaders and this and that of that nature. There's some truth to their stories that we can actually find out. But some of the stuff, they just, they want to get an audience. They want to get fans. They want to get people to support them. So therefore they do this and they do that. It's just, they're entertainers. They're entertaining us. Okay, so let's keep moving. Did the phone hang up on y'all?
No, we're here.
Okay, all right. I thought the phone hung up because you guys was quiet. I was like, what's going on? Okay, so in any event, so we get down to the situation about the C-section and why Mia ended up getting that work done. I believe she got the work done because her and G is involved in different things and different stuff like that. Mia said that, when it comes down to Chris, Bassett, that she met him, blase in the third, which we find out that wasn't true. So whoever that guy that she thought that Chris Bassett was, that gives us a little taste of what she does do. We know that she works in the Gentleman's Club. Do we think Mia was, Mother Teresa in the Gentleman's Club? No, she wasn't. So it might be loose as a goose. So she had to get but she can't say that. Ain't nobody gonna say that. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to say, hey, listen, I got this done because, I was with this one and that one, because people are going to dog you out. So she's not going to be totally honest about why she really had, any type of surgery done, especially if she had a C-section. But I do think it was inappropriate for Andy to ask her, if you had a C-section, why didn't you get anything done? I hear you, Tia. So, moving on from that situation. So we got that. And then when Wendy shaded... what's her name, Mia, and basically said, hey, listen, you only do missionary position, so how's it getting, how is it loose, how is the elastic going? Because she probably is doing more. She ain't gonna say it. She probably would say it if we asked her, but now she's realizing all the things that she say is coming back to slap her in the face and is being used against her. So she gonna keep her mouth closed, because everybody is not down with the lifestyle that she lives. Like, everybody's not down with Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith lifestyle, or anybody that's involved in dark bowls and things of that nature, and plus you're on like a kind of like a family show, but that situation.
Okay, well, if she's not going to say that because she realizes it's embarrassing and this and that and the other, this is the same girl who left the room. Somebody said something, you left the room, came out and interpreted it in a whole nother way. Like, this is who y'all want.
Y'all don't like me at all.
Okay, so we'll go to this situation. Okay.
Can you not like somebody and say don't lie about stupid shit, stupid stuff? Can you like somebody and say I would prefer if you didn't lie about stupid stuff? Like, you, Giselle and Wendy could have went to bat with each other because of what Mia said. She said you was a weak witch.
Yes.
Yeah, the problem I had with it is like Mia talk about the other girls. Like, it's like patting Mia down. It's like, well, I was saying that you said earlier, you made an excuse for Gizelle, the struggle love. That man had kids on her. I said that man, that's a black community. That man had kids on her. That struggle. You can go for Gizelle struggle love.
I said struggle love in reference to Mia's story. That there's other girls here with different stories that we could connect with, but we connecting with Mia's story because we have a tendency to empathize with people.
I thought you said that with Gizelle. You said a lot of women do that in the black community and be in relations.
All I talked about is Mia and the difference between her and Wendy, but we can move on to something.
Okay, hold on.
I would be like, let's bash Mia.
Okay, hold on real quick, guys. Hold on. Okay, I think Daniel said she never said she went and got the surgeries done. Who are you talking about? Just let me know. Just let me know if I'm wrong about, any surgeries. But in any event, let's get back to the Mia situation when she said when she went and told Wendy that Gizelle called you a weak, witch. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so in that situation, everybody said, oh my God, that Mia lied. To me, I felt like Gizelle said it. But she said it in a professional way. She said it, well, if you can't handle people asking you questions about Eddie and you're going to break down, then you shouldn't be on the show. To me, she's saying, in other words, you are a weak witch. In my opinion, what do you think about that?
She the weakest one. She can't get man. She keep trying to go back to her ex that don't want her, that had kids on her and cheat on her. So she calling Wendy weak. She weak herself. A man that's not even claiming her. He don't even claim you.
I know, that's sad.
He really went on camera and said they not together. I said, damn. And when they called her on that, she tried to make excuses for that too. But she want to talk about Wendy's marriage so bad. She want to talk everybody's relationship, but her relationship be off limits. Your relationship not off limits. Because everybody see the truth. Everybody see your relationship as a scam, as a lie. He didn't want to come on the show with you. He didn't even come on the show at all.
Okay, so
she probably was his dog, girl.
Okay, so what do you guys think about G building a VIP room and the Gentleman's Club where he met Mia, and then paying $10,000 an hour of Mia's time? So in any event, with that all being said, do you think Mia wasn't spreading it before she met G?
she probably was. I don't know. I don't know what she's doing.
I say she was. I say she was. I say she was. I know she was. I know she was. And that's probably why she needed to have the things done. Okay. What do you think about that? The other call, I forgot your name.
It's Ness.
Ness, what do you think about that? Do you think if someone is paying $10,000 an hour to be around her, do you think she's just being friendly, or you think she's going all the way down the road?
I mean, I think Mia worked at I don't know what they call it, the men's club for a reason, and that was to make money doing whatever she was doing, stripping, entertaining, sucking and ducking, who knows. But to me, that what she described reminded me of the Bunny Ranch. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, the one
Yep, we know.
I don't know, maybe owns it in Texas. That's what it reminded me of. About how they have the fashions and they have the makeup. I'm literally like, you get dolled up to be presented to the men, you know, so, you know, you put lipstick on a pig, you know, you're doing all of that.
Oh, you calling him a pig? Lord have mercy.
Oh my God. That's how it is.
Right. So you get dolled up, and so you know, say it looks nice on the outside, but when all of that come off, you know, it's just, you know.
She said, but money, yo, so my mom says that you can't.
Anybody can make a point.
My mother used to say that. She said you can put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig. Okay, so moving on from that situation. So I'm in agreement that Mia was doing more. So that's my opinion. Okay, so let's move on to part 2. Okay. And so Mia said to Candice, you know, that because Andy asked Mia, what do your mother think about Candice? And then Mia said, my mother said that she's gonna pray for Candice. And Candice's response was, I don't need your prayer. Why would Candice say that she don't need Mia's mother's prayer? Is it because she thinks that she's low budget? The lifestyle that she did live in the past, she thinks that her prayers are not good enough? Like, why would she say something like that? So you guys elaborate. We'll start with Tia, and then we'll go to Naya. You said your name is Naya, right? Nia.
Well, you can start with
Neff.
You can start with Neff first.
Okay, go ahead, Neff.
I mean, I don't need nothing from my haters. I feel like that's the position Candace is coming from. Like, y'all can keep all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you praying for me, I'm good. Like, what are you really praying for? People pray for people to die. Like, I'm good. Keep your prayers. So that's how I took that.
All right, Tia.
Well, I don't think you said me. Your mother said that. I don't think she meant it in a way like I'm praying for you to die. She probably said, I'm not going to attack you. I'm just going to pray for you. And some people don't always pray for you to die. I don't pray for that. Well, I'm going to take the high road. I'm not going to let that get to me. That's what I think her mother probably was doing. But I said to people, I'm going to pray for you. I ain't going to argue with you. I'm going to pray for you.
And I'm just going to ask one question. Did Mia's mama really say that, though? I'm just saying.
Oh, well, we don't we don't know if she said that or not. But Candice's response, what we're trying to do is figure out Candice's response. Do you think Candice's response should have been differently? Because she got a lot of backlash from, you know, calling Mia's mother low budget. And then Andy,
yeah, I say on Twitter.
And then Andy got at, you know, Candice really bad, you know what I mean, about her behavior. Mm-hmm. So was her response, you think, a response of somebody that want to keep a peach?
I think it was very appropriate. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, you're not wishing me well and praying for me. We all know what that really means. When you go, yeah, girl, I'm praying for you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Shade. So she responded appropriately. So I thought that was nothing. She served. She returned the serve. That was nothing.
I don't think she was responding appropriately. Because she got, I said, Candice, your mouth. That's how they keep looking at her mouth. She better stop it. Somebody gonna pop out. I keep saying that. That mouth hers.
Okay. So Mia basically was known this season as a flip-flop. Mia said if she goes about the moment that she's feeling. So in that moment, when they asked her about Gizelle, in that moment she felt like, you know, Gizelle had a kind heart, Gizelle had a beautiful heart, but she says, you know, tomorrow she might feel differently. And then Gizelle jumped in and said that she feels like Mia was coached by Karen. So do you guys think Karen coached Mia?
I mean, I feel like all of the girls could use a little coaching from the ground up. Like, Karen is the shit to me. I love her. And so even if she was, I mean, Gizelle just revealed herself in that moment, because to even go there, you know that's what you're doing with Robyn. You coaching your friends, you egging them on. You did the same thing to Candice. And I'm really, you know, I really feel bad about the relationship between Candice and Monique, because I loved both of them and I love their friendship. And I hated it when Monique turned on her friend to become friends with the girl that y'all both didn't like. I didn't like that. So I understood why it got to that level, but I just don't feel like we ever need to. We can have a heated debate and a passionate debate, but we don't need to put hands on each other. But leaving all of that aside, coming back to Gizelle, I think Gizelle was just projecting, quote unquote quotations, projecting what she does, which is egg her friends on to attack other people, because she can't do it herself, so she put other people up to it. So I feel like that's what that was about.
When it comes to the whole fight thing, now we could talk to each other, but don't disrespect me. That's what you can't do to people. But you go down and dirty, start cursing, I started talking about horrible thing, because Candice, her mouth is deadly. Cause people put their hands up, it's verbal abuse too. She can't do that, because some people ain't gonna be like, some people ain't gonna just argue. They're gonna put their hands on you and beat you up. So she needs to stop with that mouth. And that's how I think what happened in the situation. Monique anger went to the wrong person. But Candice needs to stop with that mouth. Because when these ladies talk about people on this show, they go low down. They say the most meanest stuff to each other. And that's not regular. That's not no regular talking about each other. That's a whole different talking about each other.
I have yet to hear what Candice has really said to anyone that deserved hands. Like, I have yet to hear it. You know, saying, oh, what you gonna do, what you gonna do. That you're on a reality show. This is what the show is. It's about shade.
When she talked about Mia,
then people could put their hands on you.
What?
Your hands put on her.
I think if I was Mia, Candice, and when it was over there at that trip, whoever's trip that, who trip was that? Wendy's trip. The way that Candice was talking, I would have been. They would have called the popos. I would have been locked up.
That's what I said.
I would have been locked up.
Talking reckless, and she was acting like she.
And you talking about my mama? You talking about my You talking about my mama? It's a wrap. It's just it's off of GP. It's off of GP. But we will say. But we will say that, you know, sometimes you can't, like, I'm at the level now that, you know, I've been at the level a long time that sometimes what words, sticks and stone may break my bones, but words would never hurt. But sometimes them words come deep. And if you think that you have the audacity to say what you're going to say to me and talk about my mama and drag me like that, well, you might get dragged physically. But at the same time, if I was on this show, I wouldn't put my hands on anybody, because I'm making what, $500,000, $1.2 million, $400,000, $800,000. I ain't gonna let nobody take no money up out of my mouth. So therefore, I would have been reading down, but people can't read Candice down. That's the thing. And they don't know how to go. They don't know how to go below like Candice go. Because if I was me, I would have read Candice's whole lifestyle. I would have read everything. I would have read her from her wig. I would have read her for her marriage, her behavior. I would have read her for her mother. I would have read her for all the...
Megan, when did your mama become like below the belt? Like,
below the belt. Mama is always below the belt. Mama is always below the belt. When you talk about somebody, mama.
Your mama this, that, and the other. She just said your mama. Like, whatever you got to say, your mama. Dr. Heavenly been saying your mama.
But listen, Heavenly would have been.
That's a different show.
But let's get back. Let's get back to that situation when it comes to talking about what I said early in the video. Candice wasn't saying that Mia's mother was low budget because, she shop at Payless. She wasn't saying that she was low budget because she buy TV dinners. She was saying that she was low budget because of her lifestyle and what she'd been through. That's what she said.
I didn't hear all that.
So no, that's what she meant. That's what she meant. That is exactly what she meant when she said, and Candice knew that she meant that. When she was saying low budget, she was saying your mother been in jail. She didn't say it, but that's what she meant. And so you got to read in between the lines when it comes to the reading. That's why Gizelle, even though Gizelle ain't a fan favorite, that's why Gizelle said, if Mia would have bopped you, I would have been like,
That's not why Gizelle said that. Gizelle said that because she realizes Candice's star is rising, Wendy's star is rising, and she's not happy with it. Period. I don't think she said that because of that.
No,
I think she said that because of the comment and because of what happened last season. Because she was one of the people that was taking up for Candice. She said that if somebody pop up on you again, people say they're not gonna take up for her because that mouth. Her mouth is like deadly. She just said, and plus, you gotta look at how Candace is doing. I forgot the lady name. I think she do sports casting. She was so disrespectful to that lady. Oh, why'd you block me? And it was a black woman. She was so disrespectful. Like she wanna fight that woman.
Jamil. Her name is Jamil, I think.
Yeah, she would. You see how she talked to Jamil? But you gonna make excuse for that? She wanted to fight that. Like she wanted to fight that woman. And if that one would have gave her,
to learn how to use their words.
So that's what you need Candace to do. Learn how to use some words.
Your words. Yeah, we all need to learn how to use.
You can use all your words all you want to, but if you say the wrong thing and you get an emotion out of somebody, you're gonna get what it's gonna get. That's it. You can say.
I feel like if you put your hands on somebody, you should go to jail. Like
like I said, did you hear me? I said I would be in jail. Did you hear me? I said I would be in jail. I would be in jail, baby. But in any event. And in any event, I would be in jail. The whole thing you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say, Candace, will be used against you. I don't even care. Okay, so where we at? Yeah, I got dismissed.
Watch the show and see how Candace's mouth was. The case got dismissed.
Like she has the right to respond the way she responded, and I think she apologized.
Okay, you support that. You support. I want to talk about your mama.
Wait, let me. First of all, she didn't say nothing about her mom. She just said your mama. Like if your
she said your mama's low budget.
She said low budget.
No, Mia said low budget.
No, I think Candice says. Candice said. Candice.
Right. So I'm just saying, like when somebody says something and your response is your mama is whatever the thing it is you're saying. It is what it is. It's your mama. Like it's stupid and it's a throwaway. And these are not teenagers. If you're a teenager and you're responding like that, I feel like people can defend that. But when you're grown on this show,
how it does respond too.
A professional woman, like.
Well, she's not acting professional because she shouldn't talk about anybody's mother. What Candace should have did is read Mia. She read Mia and she read her mother. Like I said, when she said low budget, she wasn't talking about pay less. She wasn't talking about she eat at McDonald's. She was talking about her time behind bars, her not having any money and living in poverty because Candace is totally different from that lifestyle. But in any event, let's move on to something else. Okay, so we get down to, your girl Gizelle. Gizelle is in the building and Gizelle is in the hot seat. And it was like Andy was definitely putting Gizelle in a hot seat and he definitely wanted her in the hot seat. And I was like, okay, let's get down to the situation. So in any event, Andy wanted to know who was the commentator that Gizelle was dating. And then Andy said, well, he thinks that he knows that Wendy knows who the commentator is. And Wendy said, yes, I do know who the commentator is. And then Gizelle said, no, she does not know who the person is. And then Gizelle said, he said that he don't know her. And then Wendy said, yes, she does know him. And then Andy jumped in because Andy got the information. And Andy said, is it Van? And then that's when Wendy jumped in and said, yes, it is Van. And Van, he does not like Gizelle because he does not date anybody that don't have any integrity. And Gizelle did not respond or say anything. Everybody was like, So what do you guys think about that situation when Wendy threw up that she knew who Gizelle was dating and that man don't like her because she got no integrity? Oh Lord, I was like, she got red bad with that, and she didn't even respond. Even Ashley was like, yo, you ain't gonna say nothing. Even Candace looked at Gizelle, you ain't gonna say nothing. Andy turned around and looked at Gizelle, you ain't gonna say nothing. I was like, she said, you don't got no integrity, Lord. I was like, what?
Listen, I love, like, Potomac reunion. I just want to watch it to see Gizelle go the whole time. Like, the girls stay gagging. Like, everything is a surprise. Gizelle act like she don't even know, like, what the people gonna say. Like, Gizelle, come on. Yeah, so, anyway, I love it. I just love to see Gizelle squirm and, was there for Wendy throwing the shade. That's all I gotta say about that.
What about you, Tia?
I said, when Wendy threw that, I just started laughing. I was just here for it. But I said, I was surprised she didn't say nothing. That's what the hell, you ain't gonna say nothing? All that mouth you got? I was just looking like, damn. I was like, what the hell?
And Gizelle was like, oh, I'm dating a commentator, on the season finale or the episode before that, and I'm not going to tell anybody. But Wendy already had to drop, and she must have told Andy, or Andy had to drop, and Wendy said, no, he don't like her.
Right. I was like, what? But, Gizelle did say she was dating somebody younger, so I felt like the Van Jones was like a shade not related to the guy she was really dating, and she was dating somebody who was younger. But that shit was funny.
It was funny. I was funny. I was like, Lord, go ahead, Wendy. Handle your business. Wendy is on the Monte. Wendy wants to rock Gizelle. Wendy is coming for your spot, baby. She's coming for you. Wendy don't even come at Robyn like that. But in any event,
Robyn is ready to fight for her homegirl. Like, Robyn said, hold my earrings. Robyn is more mad than Gizelle is. I'm just trying to figure out why, though, Robyn. Like, you wanted to fight Monique because of Gizelle. Like, you want to fight everybody for your friend. Gizelle is not a good friend, Robyn. Come on. Yeah.
And so then they started to shade Gizelle's house and basically, saying like it's 3 different houses in one, Gizelle's, whatever shack, whatever house that she got, they started shading that. Andy was talking about her purple walls. They started laughing. Wendy was like dreadful. Wendy was like, Wendy was saying under her breath that she don't believe what Gizelle is saying, that she got a new floor and that's why she changed the purple walls. They were shading her so bad.
Oh my God. Like, the Gizelle shade is just comedic relief. The praise and worship outfit. Like, I'm just there laughing back to back. Like, if she has nothing, if she was returning serve, I would be like, yeah, this is good. But, like, Gizelle just sits there gulping the whole entire time. I am here for it.
What did Majesty say? Speak your mind. So in any event, Major, what's up, Major? Major says The Cabin in the Woods. Yeah, that's a scary movie. Gizelle's house is a scary movie. What did Major? Van Jones doesn't even like, never mind. So yeah, Van Jones was supposed to be dating Kim Kardashian. That's what Kanye West said at a diss track, towards him. Because, Van Jones and Kim Kardashian was doing, they was doing a public campaign to get people released from jail and things of that nature. And then Kim was thinking about running for president. So they stayed into this huge hotel that was so beautiful. I can't think of the name of the hotel anymore. And so now we know Kim Kardashian is with Pete Davidson. Like, that is a shame. Yeah. That's a shame. But in any event, I know. But he might be funny.
He's probably doing that because her sister Courtney getting more attention to her with her relationship.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Jerry Donnell said that Andy asked if it was cohesive.
I know. He did say that. He said, is it cohesive? Yo, they cracked on her house, but I think she does that. And Andy said, I don't know. if it did match anything, because Andy was like, that purple wall was terrible. Andy asked Karen, does Giselle house still look like the Ronald McDonald house? I was like,
well, Mary Jane, don't they have like building codes they have to follow?
She don't got none.
Can you just like stitch different houses? Can you really do?
Yo, but why? And the Giselle is so shady. She had the ladies come to her house. Yo, that should have been like, somebody could have got her at Giselle's house. Yeah.
I would have never showed her my house if I was her.
She does it as a gag so people can gag on her. That's what she does. Because she don't got nothing going on, so it's a gag. Like, we all gag on her. And a lot of the reality TV stars, they come with like, they do special things to gag. In any event, moving on from that situation, and then Karen basically said, when Andy asked her that question, the Ronald McDonald house, she was like, it's just like a drive-by. And then Karen turned around and said, no, it's not a drive-by, it's a drive-in, because you better not get out of your car. You just park and sit. I was like, that is so shady. She said,
drive-in.
Yes.
A drive-in, Karen? Yo, a drive-in.
Okay, guys, hold on 1 second. We're about to add Miss T. Miss T, can you hear us?
I can hear you. What's going on, y'all?
What's going on, girl? We on the phone. We on the phone, and we got you on the StreamYard. So what's good? What you think?
I think I missed most of this. What you were saying. So you had to ask me some questions because I think I missed a lot of your.
We got keep moving, and then you just respond. Because I was just talking ish.
He was all over the place. He was all over.
I just talk ish. Okay, so let's see where we at. We're at. Okay, so we already did that with Candice. Okay, so which part? Okay. I still can't get over that. What's her name? Ashley talking about, yeah, he called me Darby Barbie. I was like, girl, you need to be embarrassed telling people that.
Yeah, okay. Actually, you'd be very embarrassed of that whole situation. Anyway.
Facts. Okay, so I think I'm skipping over, but I might go back. Okay, this is 5. Let me see if I can find 4. Okay. All right, so Karen says to Giselle that maybe it's 3. Okay, let me try 3. My screen is kind of like messing up. Okay, 4. Okay, I think this is it. Okay, so now we get on to Giselle. Giselle was sitting there. She was on a hot seat, baby. And Andy really is acting real funny towards Giselle. He never really held her feet to the fire. So he was holding her feet to the spot. To the fire. And then he said, speaking of Jamal, when did you guys actually break up? Giselle said earlier in the year, baby, and so Andy was like, well, so, we had the reunion this time. Giselle was like, well, we broke up around the holidays, maybe late January. And you already know Wendy is here to get. We know Wendy is here to get Giselle. Wendy jumped in and was like, girl, your man was on Instagram doing a live talking about he's single and December. So what do you mean like January? And how come Giselle doesn't know when she broke up with Jamal? How come she don't know? This used to be her ex-husband. This is her baby's father. And she brought him on TV. So now is Giselle just like Mia lying? Like, what's going on? So go ahead, Miss T. Tell me what you think about that. We're going to keep moving. You hear me, Miss T? Did I lose you? Okay, so we got that part. So January. And so Wendy, when she jumped in and said that it was December, it was in December, he was saying that he was single. And Wendy said, yeah, he said that he was single. And even Andy said, yeah, Jamal said he was single. And then Giselle, she jumped in and said, hey, listen, he wasn't saying that he was saying he was single, meaning that he's not married. No, we already know Jamal's not married. So why do he need to say that he's single? Then Giselle basically said that, you know, she felt like Jamal basically said that, you know, he's not married. And then Wendy and Andy agreed that Jamal saying that he was single and he wasn't in a relationship. And then Andy asked, you know, Gizelle about the situation. Like, is it because of Monique Samuels that you and Jamal broke up because she came through with the binders? And so Gizelle said, no, that's not the reason. I already knew that information before Monique said anything. And then that's when Karen jumped in and said, so you wasn't surprised this time? So you agreed to be the other woman's shade? Gizelle said, we both were seeing. She said seeing, then she turned around and said figuring out.
No, they weren't.
So therefore they were seeing all the people. Gizelle was asked, so what do you guys think about that? We'll start with you, Miss T, then we'll go down the line.
I think Gizelle is lying. Like, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, girl.
Oh, okay. I think Gizelle is lying, like always. That's why it was like summer, spring, winter, fall. She didn't know when they broke up. But it's crazy because we just watched him in December say that y'all wasn't together. So why are we still even pretending? I wish they would just say, but Jamal came out. I was waiting for somebody to be like, Jamal said that's a lie. Why are we pretending that that never happened? Because it did, and you got brought out at the last reunion. I don't understand. You say Andy was being hard on her. I don't really think so, because he let her slide. He was sitting right there last year. He heard all of that, and he still didn't hold her to the fire and ask her the question that he should have. He let her slide because he know the truth already. That's
okay, go Neff. Neff, you're up.
I think, yeah, Gizelle told on herself, you know, the Jamal thing, how, you know, we agreed that we were figuring it out and we were seeing other, you know, that's not what I thought he said. So she told us everything that was happening, and I think Gizelle is sad. You know, I think Gizelle, next season, we're going to see her go to therapy, because she should go ahead and get therapy, because anybody in that situation would be distraught. Did you really love him? And if you did, and you were willing to take him back and work it out and build your family back together, you would have felt something. And, you know, as beautiful as you are, to get treated like that, to get dogged out like that, like, that's a real situation. And I wish she was willing to be vulnerable enough to really deal with it, you know? So I think we're going to see Gizelle go to counseling next season, and maybe she'll decide to show her true self and really own up to her truth, which is that as beautiful as she is, she's insecure enough to allow this man to dog her out, and even on a national platform.
Okay, Tia?
I just think the whole thing behind Jamal's face. She just basically grew up. I'm single. I'm not saying that, because people kept saying that whole relationship, people that know them, they not really together, it's just a storyline. He didn't want to come on the show at all. He was talking stuff through the phone. That was like a whole fake relationship. Her daughter saying to be that relationship is real. Because it's all fake. It was a fake relationship. I'm always telling her about it. It was just so fake. Jamal he don't want her. He just wants to sleep around. That's what he want to do. He don't want her.
Okay. So we got that situation, and then, you know, Gizelle was asked the question by Andy, like, yo, listen, you are not open about your relationship. You're not open about what goes on between you and Jamal. And like, you want all the other ladies to bend over backwards and say what they're going through and give intimate details. And that's when Candice jumped in and said, yes, when it comes to you, Gizelle, you're not vulnerable. You don't open up. You don't really tell people what you're going through. And that's when Andy felt a certain type of way. And he was like, Gizelle, if I was you and the man that I used to be married to, and then I started to date him again, and then he ends up leaving me again and cheating on me, like Monique said with the binders, that Jamal basically said to his other woman that this was all for show. This is just for TV for her. So, you know, and then so we know that situation. So was Gizelle and Jamal really dating? Was they really in a relationship? Did they have the daughters out here on TV lying and shit like they were together and all that other good stuff? And as you guys know, the restaurant that Jamal brought for his daughter closed down, and basically, you know, that he needs to pay taxes on that, and he doesn't own it anymore. And so, moving on from that situation, Wendy, you already know Wendy was ready to attack. Wendy was ready to jump in. Wendy was ready to get at Gizelle because she was not trying to let Gizelle lie at all. That's why Wendy said, hey, listen, Jamal said that he was single in December, and Andy was going to let Gizelle ski by that situation, and Wendy did not let Gizelle ski by that situation. And then Wendy jumped in and said, when Wendy jumped in, she said that if Gizelle is deflecting, if she actually tells the truth and she actually tells the truth to everybody, she will break down and cry because it's just horrible. Because we seen the clips of Wendy basically getting at Gizelle saying like, yo, why would you with a man that is cheating with this one and that one, and he cheated multiple times and you took him back and things of that nature. So Wendy said, you are deflecting, girl. If you talked about the truth, you will break down and cry. Do you guys believe that is true? We'll start with Neff, we'll go with Tia, and then we'll go with Miss T.
Listen, I think there's a crack, and it just keeps getting wider and wider and wider. And if she doesn't do something to patch it up, it's going to break apart, and it's going to be really sad. I think we've seen Gizelle, her beautiful green eyes are green with envy. She envies all the other girls' relationships.
Okay, hold on, Neff, do you have me on speakerphone?
I don't.
Okay, if whoever got me on speakerphone, turn it off, please. Okay, go ahead, Neff.
Yeah, so I think Gizelle is green with envy. She attacks those relationships because of the anger she feels towards Jamal that she hasn't dealt with, the anger she feels towards the fact that she hasn't really been able to heal that in order to be in a healthy relationship. I think when she desperately came at Robyn, talking about how you need to make sure you get out of bed, and I thought that was good, and she was in a way being a good friend. But if you really peel back the layers, Gizelle is desperate. She really is desperate. And I think, Madame Huger was trying to pour into her, and I don't think she said it on this part of the reunion, but I think Karen said to her later on that you deserve better. I think Karen was trying to pour into her and that. But Gizelle, I think it's just a matter of time before she moves apart. And everything she's been doing to the other girls and what the girls are pointing out, and Wendy's going to stay on that. Wendy is not going to back off that, because Gizelle going after Wendy's marriage was the worst thing she ever did. Wendy called them ancestors after Gizelle and said, she pulled a Sealy from the color purple. Everything you've done to me, you know what I mean? So Gizelle needs to recalibrate. I think she's in trouble.
Okay, go Tia.
Well, I want to say all the ladies beautiful. That's all. I want to all ladies beautiful on the show, not just Gizelle. But I said, Wendy, I was happy at Wendy getting at her. She was saying something. I was like, yes, Wendy, yes, get her together. Because that's not the worst thing that Gizelle did when it came to Wendy marriage. The worst thing she did was with Monique's child. She brought a child into the situation. That's one of the worst things she ever did. Like, she loved around by everybody's relationship. Because she's so jealous. Because she probably want what they got. But she ain't going to have one no Jamal.
All right,
like Ness said, she...
Okay. I didn't know if you was done. My bad.
Nah, I said, you got to go here. I was just saying, that's Gizelle.
All right, Miss T.
I think Gizelle, well, first of all, I think Gizelle is really smart in some areas, and then she's just really hurt and vulnerable in other areas, and she hasn't healed herself in the right areas, right? So, because it's always a conundrum, like, wow, how is this woman able to raise these beautiful, smart, brilliant girls who can see what she can't see? So I know that there's something in her that she's teaching her daughters the right thing, but she's not applying it to herself. So either that's how she really feels, or what I personally think is she's just went a little too far for this show, right? I feel that she probably talked to Jamal. She said, yeah, I need a storyline, because for some reason, Gizelle thinks she needs a man in one of her storylines for it to be a good storyline. She did it every season. So that's her MO. So I think this last season she just got lazy and was like, who can I know? And that's extra controversy. You're my ex-husband. We could pretend the next time we could break up. She just didn't expect for Monique to bring out all of this and expose her at the reunion. I think she would have done the same thing she's doing now, except we wouldn't have had the Monique part. So she could have told us, yeah, we broke up, it didn't work, or I realized I was too good for that, and I've been down that road again, and we're talking. Not she wanted to be the one to say all those things, so we would finally be like, yes, good job. I'm glad you finally handled him. You finally showed him who's boss, and you got back at him. But it didn't work out like that because Monique came and bust her bubble before she was able to do it. So I really don't think she's as sad and as lonely as we think she is. I definitely think she needs counseling, and I definitely think she has some issues, but I think she's exacerbated them by using them as a fake storyline, and it just backfired.
It backfired too, because I really don't believe that Gizelle was in a relationship with Jamal.
And I believe that she doesn't believe that she was. No, not at all. She's not that stupid. She sees what it was. She sees what it is. And clearly, for her children to be so flabbergasted and just like confused and astonished means that there was a disconnect for them, meaning there was a disconnect for your mother. This makes no sense. From what they've seen, heard, and learned growing up, this makes no sense. So now we're going to talk about you and tell you about yourself because this makes no sense. And that to me was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's true. This does make no sense. And how do your daughters know it doesn't make any sense, but you are so confused and don't see it? Give me a break.
Okay. So moving on from that situation.
I think just
I was just gonna move on to what you can respond. Go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like we're watching Giselle's, castle slowly come, crumbling down. I mean, I think people are more awake to what bullying looks like. I think people are awake to, these microaggressions when it comes to colorism and things like that. So Gizelle, she needs a new angle. And I think if Gizelle loses Robyn, like if Robyn don't come back, that'll be the end of that empire. Because these girls are hungry. They want it. So you got people like Wendy and Mia and whoever's going to come if they don't keep a scholar. And if without Robyn, I don't know what Giselle's going to do.
Facts. So moving on from that situation, let's get to Andy. So then Andy said, oh my goodness, Gizelle, you didn't cry when you found out Jamal was out there cheating and he was doing all this other stuff. Andy said, I would have cried. I would have been on my knees. And the words of Felicia Butler, she says, Amanda would have been crying and on his knees. And Gizelle said that she don't cry. And she said she already been hurt by the first time by him. And so therefore she is not going to be hurt by the second time because she already dealt with them emotions. And so therefore, she doesn't need to, let the world know anything because she's not feeling anything, that she's so hardcore. And that goes back to what Miss T was saying about Gizelle and her behavior. If she wasn't in a relationship with Jamal, there's no need for her to cry. There's no need for her to really continue to talk about Jamal because basically she just felt like she needed a man on the show because people wanted her to be in a relationship. As we guys know, when it comes to the Real Housewives franchise, all the ladies want to be connected to a man or have a husband because it actually boosts up their storyline. Thank you, Tia. And so then moving on from that, Andy said he's just confused. Andy was like, I would have been crying. And so then, especially the second time. And then, Karen says that she was like, if Gizelle actually shares her truth the right way, she can actually be a winner. And then Robyn jumps into the situation because Robyn was like, at this time, Robyn feels like she got to have her back, as you were saying.
No, she feels it's time for her to talk before they forget she was sitting there.
Facts.
That's what she was like. Oh, I got something to say on this one. I can say something on this one. Ain't nobody gonna jump on me because she's my girl. So, That's what she did. She jumped at opportunity. She trying to reaching for bones.
All right, what'd you say, Tia?
I said I forgot she was there first. Robyn.
Exactly.
Reunion.
Yo,
I
you,
always forget that she did.
you're on
She
point.
thought, I'm gonna fight for my woman because she's a man in a relationship.
Right.
Another woman.
Oh,
She's a man.
oh, wait. And so moving on from that situation, that's when Robyn said everybody shares their pain a different way. They don't have to wear it on their shoulders. They don't have to carry it on their shoulders. But that's when, Wendy jumped into the situation and basically was like trying to say something and comment on the situation. And Robyn was like, you keep interrupting me, Wendy. You keep interrupting me. I'm trying to say something. And Wendy kind of like backed down. To me, I feel like Robyn and Wendy have some type of special relationship. I don't know what it is, but they throw daggers, but they throw really small daggers that won't stick. It's like they also pacify each other as well. So I don't know what's going on with Wendy and Robyn, but I think they got a bond, and right now they're both hurt at each other.
I feel like MJ watching Potomac over the season, that's just Robyn's MO. Like anybody who has beef with Gizelle, Robyn goes really hard against that person. She did the same thing with Monique. Like she didn't have no beef with Monique, but because Gizelle didn't like, Monique and was, putting batteries in Robyn's back, Robyn went hard against Gizelle. And I think also that Robyn and Wendy may have actually been trying to build a friendship.
They were hanging out, they were chilling, and I think that they shared a lot of information because Robyn threw some shade at the Reasonable Shady podcast thing at Wendy. Wendy checked Robyn checked Wendy a little bit, but it was very light. You know what I mean? And then Robyn's basically like, she don't want to even confront Wendy. She don't have a conversation with her. She don't want to talk about it. And the way that Wendy is attacking Gizelle and coming after Gizelle and sitting all ready for Gizelle, she's not that same way with Robyn. And Robyn usually goes all the way in and dig a grave for anybody that's coming after Gizelle. But it seems like she's slowly throwing the dirt. Go ahead, Neff.
If you remember, Robyn was Wendy's fake friend when she joined the show too. So I don't know if that plays into it or not, but they definitely don't. She doesn't go hard with a lot of people, but I think Robyn kind of sees that maybe she needs to plant some seeds other places just in case. Just in case she needs more than one ally on the show. When have we ever seen her? She used Juan to go out to lunch with Ashley. Now she's talking to Wendy kind of, but not really helping her, but sort of helping her. So I feel like she's kind of just putting places just in case. I don't want everybody to hate me because you can't have everybody hating you on the show or calling you. And she's also seen what we say online. These women are not stupid. I think she's heard all the commentary. And so she's like, well, maybe let me figure out a way. I feel like Robyn always tries to figure out a way to still have Gizelle's back, but to make us think that she might not. Up until the last minute, she likes to pretend like she's gonna say something, but it always comes back to Gizelle because I think she's her friend, and she knows that if she sticks with, you got to stick with one of the winning horses, either Karen or Gizelle. Those are the two that if you've been lucky enough in this franchise, you got to pick a team, and we already know what team she's on.
Yeah, and I also think Robyn is surprised that Wendy got that. She wasn't expecting that. And so she's still, Wendy threw her off balance, and Robyn is still off balance when it comes to Wendy because she's still trying to find an angle to come at Wendy, but Wendy is ready.
They can't read Wendy. That's the thing. She's too educated and hood at the same damn time. And so it's hard to...
They can't read, period.
Okay, there you go, Miss T.
Yeah, right. I said they can't read her.
Y'all are too funny. Okay. Y'all got me going, y'all. So in any event, so we have that situation where, we're talking about, Robyn defending, Gizelle, and Karen says Gizelle should know better. She's a grown woman. And basically, Karen is saying to Gizelle, like, why would she go back to him? Why would she even choose to be in a relationship with Jamal? But we don't even believe that, she was in a relationship with Jamal. But Karen is saying, like, why would you do that? Like, he cheated. Like, why would you take him back? And so then that's when Wendy was like, yes. And then Andy was like, yo, he cheated on you multiple times. And Wendy was like, yeah, he cheated. And then so Gizelle said, oh, it looks like Wendy's happy about that. And Wendy said, no, I'm just telling facts. I was like, damn, Gizelle, she's killing you. You shouldn't have made that fake relationship with Jamal, because at the end of the day, it's coming to bite you in your ass, because it don't make no sense. And this man got on Instagram and basically said he's single. He could have said, I'm not married, but I'm dating, and I'm dating Gizelle. He wouldn't even claim Gizelle. So it makes it seem like Monique Samuel was right when he said he just had a TV relationship with Gizelle. He got his numbers up. He got more people to donate. That's tax-free. Yeah. We know Jamal ain't driving because he got to pay taxes to drive. So that's why he don't got no license. And that's why he gave Gizelle that core. And then on top of that, Andy shaded Gizelle when it comes to the tax situation. I couldn't believe Andy said, you know what, Gizelle, you teased Karen, and you clowned Karen a whole season about them taxes, and Jamal owes $800,000 in taxes. I was like, Lord, God is trying to tell you.
Did Andy have a fight with her before the reunion started? Because Andy,
I know.
Did she piss him off? Like, what happened there? Because that's a whole different energy. What happened there is the question. Because Andy's we've always been messy and extra hard on the black cast, but still, this is still a little, especially like where was all this heat last year? Andy, you were a year and some change late. If he'd have come like this at Giselle's last reunion,
it would have been totally different. All right, Neff, what you say, Neff?
I'm just thinking, like, Monique Samuels dug this girl's grave, and the rest of these new girls is going to bury Gizelle. And the only saving grace Gizelle has is Karen Huger. And if you guys are paying attention, she's backing off all of the bullshit she did to Karen. Yes, they've been going back and forth for years, but Giselle's been going hard for no reason on Karen. And so this is the only way Gizelle makes it out of it, is if Karen decides to step in and save her.
That's what she's doing. And she gave her great advice.
I think Karen and Gizelle know the game of the reality TV show too. They know their roles too, right? So they argue for a little bit, and then they made up on the trip, and they have light shade because they know that they're the two nucleuses of this franchise. Karen holds one of the wine glasses, and Gizelle holds the bottle. So they know they gotta fight, and then they gotta snip at each other. And they're the only two other than Robyn. That's the only other woman who's a true person that Gizelle was in Giselle's life before this, was a true friend, really has real memories without a camera, right? Is Karen and Robyn. So Karen knows Gizelle just like Robyn does. She's just actually got sense and is on the other side. You see what I'm saying? Because I feel like they both know her very, very well. She said Karen has sense and a backbone. So she doesn't let her slide on all that stuff. But she's telling her real stuff at the same time. But she's never gonna take it in because it's coming from Karen. So it's always gonna be an issue because it's coming from where it's coming from. But it's true, T. All of it is true, T.
Okay, so moving on from.
I wonder if Gizelle is crazy enough to really angle against Candice, because it looks like that's where she's going. But
yep, she is.
Is she really dumb enough to do that? Because I think if she does that, she's really gonna get buried. This next season will probably be her last, especially if they get rid of Robyn. And I think that's what they need to do to really change up the dynamic of the show. Robyn needs to go. As much as I like her, I just don't think she's been doing anything for years.
To see Giselle's real potential, Robyn has to go. She has to. So we can see if she can sink or swim.
Yo, T is in the background talking about, yeah, she's boring. And then you hear Miss T.
That she on the show. She very like, she's forgettable. I was forgetting about her.
And then you got Miss T talking about, if you want to really see Gizelle potential, get rid of Robyn. Lord, I can't with y'all. So in any event, moving on from the situation. So, so basically, Andy's asking these hard questions when it comes to Gizelle and her relationship with Jamal. And then there was a question asked to Karen. And the question that was asked to Karen is, why is she going so hard on Gizelle being single, when actually Karen had a tough time with Ray? And then Karen said, Giselle's a grown woman. She shouldn't have went back to Jamal. And then Karen said, in her opinion, Karen believes that right now that Gizelle shouldn't have not went back to Jamal. That was a bad decision. And Andy asked Karen, why do you think Gizelle chose to go back to Jamal? Because at this point, Gizelle stopped answering questions about Jamal. She didn't want to talk about Jamal. That's why Robyn jumped into the situation. So Andy wanted to really put Gizelle on the hot seat, but she shut down. And then that's when Andy shady ass, he turned to Karen and said, Andy said, Karen, why do you think Gizelle chose to go back to Jamal? And then Karen turned around and said, because I think she's storyline. But Karen didn't say that. Karen said, I think she's lonely. And Gizelle just looked, because Giselle's daughters just said that she was lonely on the season finale. I was like, Lord, And then Karen also says that she don't think that Gizelle wanted to work on a new relationship. She wanted to stay with the old. Then Gizelle was asked about her daughters calling her an emotional vampire. And basically Gizelle said that she keep going hard. But basically her being asked that question, Miss T answered that question earlier about Giselle's behavior and the reason why she's the way that she is. But in any event, moving on, from that, Gizelle just said that she's basically robotic. She's basically like a military person, because she just moves on. She just keeps going. She's just robotic. So basically it's like she got no feelings left. What I think Gizelle is trying to do is capitalize and get all the money that she can get, because right now, when it comes to Wendy, like you guys said in the comments, she should have never came after Wendy's situation. She came out of everybody's situation, but Wendy is not letting it go, and Wendy is on the attack. When I say attack, I'm not meaning attack because she's a dark-skinned woman, because we got this colorist stuff. No, I mean Wendy's on the attack. Like, you attack my marriage and what I have, my sacred tea, and then on top of that, you're using the information from a blog that talked crap about you, which you said wasn't true, and you text me about the information. Then you bring the things on the show and talk about it. Then you bring Ashley into the situation. You bring Robyn into the situation, and then basically Gizelle and Robyn had a whole conversation about Wendy, and like, oh, I think she got surgery because because of the blog said this and that. And then Wendy was totally caught off guard because she thought that she was road dogs with Gizelle and Robyn. They totally flipped the script on her. So now Wendy is basically ready to go in, because no, you ain't gonna play me like that and laugh in my face. Oh no. So you got that situation. And then, so why did Wendy, so it was so funny that Andy asked Karen, why do you think Gizelle went back? I was like, Wendy, I was like, Andy, Giselle's sitting right there. And they act like Gizelle wasn't even there. I was like, oh.
You think Wendy is going extra hard because she realizes she was used and not really liked by Robyn and Gizelle last season? I think she's going extra hard this season because of that.
100%. She was kissing their behinds last season.
Right.
Monique, she ain't never had a problem with Monique. And she gonna act like she had a problem with Monique last year. She was kissing their behinds. And they doing the same thing that they did to Monique.
To her. Fact.
Once she realized she was in the other cabin, she was done.
What I understood, Wendy was saying that, she just didn't feel like, putting hands on people was the right thing.
Yeah, but I think she did have a problem with Monique, because she was all.
No, she had a problem with
Monique.
She had a problem. She had a problem with Monique.
She definitely did.
She was coming at Monique.
Yep.
Talking about her with the other girls.
Yes,
had a problem with Monique.
Yeah, she
had a problem with Karen too, but she worked that out, as we can see.
She worked that out because she realized that she was a lap dog.
You gotta pick a team, either Karen or
Slytherin. Like Karen said, she was Slytherin.
Right. And that's
Now,
why it's a bad move to go after Candice, because if Karen can work that relationship out with Candice, the way Gizelle and Robyn are, especially Gizelle, are talking to her, then she will have really shifted she'll have everybody on her team, pretty much.
and it's
Except for
looking like
Ashley.
it's going that way. It's going that way. It looks like it. Ashley, Ashley's team, Ashley Darby Barbie. Yeah. That's what she team is, because she wrote a statement for Monique. You know what I mean? So in any event, then Andy asked a question. But I mean, he wrote somebody commented into the show, and so he read that question, and he said the question was, why do Wendy and Karen think a man defies them? So basically a woman is defied by a man. And why does Wendy and Karen shade at Gizelle always have to do it's about a man? And Karen responds, she said, because it's therapeutic. Because all season Karen been like, oh, me and Ray were on our anniversary, unlike other people, they can't get it together. Robyn don't even have a relationship. And then so Karen, and then Gizelle jumped in and was like, yo, you always saying it's the institution. So Gizelle thought she had some footing. And then that's when, Karen said, like, she always came at me about my relationship. And then that's when Andy jumped in and said, yeah, Gizelle, you have clowned Karen for a whole season. You clowned Karen about raise taxes. You clowned Karen her relationship. Then Andy said, he read online that Jamal owes $800,000. Why did he shade Gizelle like that? Go ahead, Miss T. We'll go to Neff, and then we'll go to Tia. Go ahead.
I don't know why. I don't know if they got into a fight. I don't know. I don't know why he's going so hard on Gizelle. I think because he knows that the viewers have questions from last season, and he wants to kind of get them answered, but Gizelle doesn't have which is crazy. She hasn't learned from last season. She doesn't have her answers together, but it would seem that you would at least have this together, since this is the main thing that you pick at with everybody else. And I think it's funny how she mirrors Karen now. Exactly. Now you've got the taxes, you've got this, and Karen literally has everything that you really want and wish that you could have worked through, but you don't. But I don't know what she did to Andy, because I feel like Andy's coming from his own little angry place. I feel a whole different energy from him. I don't know if he's doing it because he sees that's what we want to know, or if she did something behind the scenes that ticked him off. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't like the way she behaved and the way she's taken on the marriage and stuff. But didn't her and Robyn have a conversation about Wendy getting plastic surgery to please her husband?
Oh, yes, they did.
So isn't that completely hypocritical of what we're saying now? Is that they're doing it? Is that why they're doing it? Maybe what's good for the goose is good for the gander?
And then when Wendy jumped in and said, oh, you said that about me about having plastic surgery, but you had a tummy tuck and you still couldn't keep the man that you had a tummy tuck for, which was Jamal. I died.
Damn. Yeah, I said.
Wendy is not a stupid woman. You better stay on that nerve. Wendy is not a stupid woman.
Go ahead, Neff. Neff or Tia, you're up.
Okay. I would have sitting here listening. I said, I just don't know. I don't know what it seemed like. I don't know why Andy Cohen. I don't know what she did to that boy. Cause I felt like how he was talking. I felt like he was turning on her, like he was turning on Nene Lee. That's what she does. Nene Lee just on my head. I don't know what she did to Andy Cohen. He was going extra hard to Andy. Damn. I don't know. I said, I would just, well, maybe some people could say it's karma. Maybe I don't like saying that word, but she was picking on Karen for all that stuff. And look what happened to her now. And I think Karen said, she said something like you should get a lawyer or something. I forgot what she said. She said something like you should get a lawyer. Talk to a lawyer. She said something like that.
Yeah, about the taxes, because she could be liable for the year they were married. They could come back and get her. And she's like, no, they can't. And she's like, I know about this, because remember, my husband was sued.
Yep. So she better. Karen is giving her amazing advice, because if I was Karen, I wanted to give her no advice. She was picking on me about my husband and his taxes, and look at your ex-husband, your baby daddy, and his taxes.
Karen knows Giselle's not going to take it. And she also knows that it's a great dagger if she brings it up and is the one giving her the advice too. Shady 101.
Yeah.
Facts. Gizelle got red, yo. Giselle got red by Wendy.
Last reunion and this reunion, I said, damn.
Must be a tradition every reunion. And her neck told on her just like last reunion. Whenever she's caught in a lie and can't think of nothing, just look at her neck.
Okay, Your Majesty said Giselle had a tummy tuck and a whole face and body are two different things. So basically, Your Majesty is saying that, okay, yeah, Giselle had a tummy tuck, but Wendy got her whole body done. Lord.
Has Giselle ever been honest about getting any plastic? Has she ever shared that? Or has nobody ever asked her?
She had to share it, because how did Wendy know she had a tummy tuck?
I don't know.
Because Wendy only been on the show for now almost 2 seasons now.
Yeah,
Unless she got it from Karen or something?
Of my body. And you had a tummy stuck. That's like she always try to shame Cameron about age. And Giselle ain't young either. I think she's like 50. I don't know what she's young. You near Cameron age. I like in like the same age group.
Yep.
She always age shaming. She body shaming Wendy. She age shaming Cameron. Like she young. Cause she thinks she better. She just thinks she better than she just thinks she better. That's how people always say, oh, she's so beautiful, she's so pretty. That they all beautiful women. She just thinks she better because she lighter skin, she got green eyes. And that's what she thinks she better than the other women. Her boyfriend, Robyn.
I don't even think that she thinks she's better. I think that she feels like she's inferior, and these ladies are coming in for her. They got better houses, they got marriages, they got everything that's better than her, and then they're actually surplusing. Because if you think about it, if I was her, I would have been they used Wendy, but Wendy turned around and took the situation for the betterment of her time on the show. As far as Wendy now got her candles out, now she got more than 3 wigs, and then on top of that, Wendy's writing a book, and then on top of that, she got her whole body done, and then she came back with the read. She's coming to take over quick. She's doing more than Gizelle and Robyn did as long as they've been on the show. At least Karen was out here trying to get the money and do the things. Now you're finally seeing Candice.
She always getting advice, Karen.
Yep, and now
I'm proud. I'm actually proud of Wendy. I said Wendy, because she only was on the show the last season. This is her second season. She did stuff, and other people on these other damn shows don't be doing nothing, like the Charrisse and all these other damn people. Don't be doing nothing.
Oh my goodness, Your Majesty.
I feel like the girls need to go ahead and take a percentage for Monique Samuels and cut her a check, because Monique delivered this for them girls, and they need
nobody to reunion. That's how I kept thinking about Monique. She not even here. They kept bringing up what Monique brought up on Giselle. That's what they kept doing. It's like people were trying to be just like Monique. Wendy.
Yeah.
I said, hey,
Giselle the only one though that hasn't started anything, right? She's the only one. Even Robyn's started something. Giselle's the only one that doesn't have anything that she started.
Remember, she started something, and then Karen said last season it's all been liquidated. Like she sold it. She had a makeup line. Remember, she was at the
Karen by the Hue. She did. She had Hue Beauty. That's right. And they had that fake launch party where she ignored who's that?
Karen.
Monique and Karen. Yes. Oh, and they had to liquidate it. And then she said it was because of the pandemic. That's right.
Okay. So there's some things going on in the comments. We got Majesty talking about Giselle face card never declines. When Wendy face is confused at TSA, no flight until you update your photo, Wendy. Oh my God. And then Nia B. Huh?
I said, what the person said?
Okay, Your Majesty said Giselle face card never declines. Wendy new face is confusing TSA at flights, and so confusing TSA flights. No flights until you update your photo, Wendy. So basically saying Wendy got a whole new face.
Is that because of the baby bang?
That's because she don't got no forehead hair.
So she don't have no baby bang? Oh.
I think
she
It's true though. She does look completely different with no baby then.
I know. And then Nia B says Wendy has low self-esteem. Y'all are in here reading. And then Nia B says Wendy sounds like she's broke. And she said Wendy is stalking Gizelle. I can't with y'all. These comments are killing me. So, and y'all are just.
I don't think she broke. Now, I ain't come on whole face, man.
I don't think she broke either.
I ain't gonna come on that part, because I know people say, and I know it's coming off to me.
I think she spent that first check from Bravo well, though.
Yeah, she spent that first.
She invested it in herself. She reinvested in her happiness.
Yeah, she reinvested in her looks because she felt like her aesthetics was being questioned because Gizelle lied and made it seem like Karen was coming after her. So I think Wendy did all the changes to make herself look different and basically to get this money. And she wanted to, she didn't think that the way that she looked before was going to get her where she needed to go. Because if you look at her husband's Instagram, that's different. And then if you could, and then she compared herself to the girls. So she ended up changing because she's basically trying to be Miss It. And she's trying to take over Giselle's spot. That's it. She's
never going to be able to do that.
So we get to the situation where, Andy talks about, Gizelle clowning Karen for a whole season, and especially about the taxes. And then, Mr. Andy said, your man out here owe $800,000 in taxes. And Karen said, you better get a lawyer, Gizelle. And Gizelle said she don't need no lawyer. She's all set.
Yes, you do. Wait, I have a question, Mary J. Do you believe that she really has a stylist?
Yeah, she does have a stylist.
Oh, you believe that? Oh, okay. I thought you was okay. You believe it?
No. We seen the guy style her and dress her on the show, and it's somebody that's her friend. Some dude that's her friend. Like, he don't got no name out here in these streets.
The one who does the makeup? I've never seen anybody dress her. Who dress her?
Do he got style? I don't know who this guy is. Do he got style?
Oh, maybe Grace is dressing her. I don't know if somebody's dressing
her. He better not be. He better pretend like he's not her. He's never gonna have a career.
They dress her horrible.
Poor Gizelle, but you know what? I don't know. You know what? Giselle's on that type of budget I can afford. Her clothes I probably can afford.
I ain't no amazing dresser, but I'd have stepped it up if I was on that show.
She just doesn't have style. Like, she just can't put it together right. It just never works. Even when you want it to work, like, you get to like the shirt and it'll be, oh man. Or you get to like the pants and it'll be like, why? Or it'll be like even on the reunion, she's got this green ring on. Why? Why? It threw me off the whole reunion. It's big too.
And then she put her hands up like we wanted to see how tacky she looked. I got the picture somewhere down here of her putting her hands up and it just looking tacky. But in any event, let's get on to the situation. So Karen tells Gizelle she better go get herself a lawyer because she was married to Jamal in 2008. And 2008, he owed about $250,000 in taxes. And Gizelle said that she don't need to get no lawyer. She don't need to do nothing because, ain't nobody coming for her because she bought a house. Karen said that doesn't mean anything. And then Andy jumped into the situation and Andy said, what about your kids? Like, you need to protect yourself. And then Gizelle said after 7 years they can't come after you for taxes. I was like, Gizelle, where you been?
She's stupid. Who's saying that?
I'm about to say, I didn't even think that was a rule. I don't know what she talking about.
I know on your credit report they'll take something off for 7 years. I don't know why she's saying taxes. The IRS don't never let you get away.
They don't forget. They're gonna want their money from you, her, him, or Grace. It don't matter.
Okay. Ralph said, I told you Gizelle shop at somethingplain.com. Okay.
On credit.
And Andy says it's going to affect your daughters, the taxes and things of that nature. And, Giselle's not trying to hear that. And then we get a scholar, she comes through and she's shining, baby. And she do look beautiful. A scholar. she comes through and she's introduced to the cast and she's sitting on the stage. And Andy said, everybody's been commenting on how beautiful you look, how you dress, how you got style, how you got fashion. You are the fashionisha of this show. So in any event, let me see, where is she? So with that situation, Andy asked a scholar, who would you like to dress or do a makeover on? And she said, Gizelle, I would like to make her come current. She said current.
Yes. Come here. Come into 2020, 22, 23, 24. Keep coming. Like, come on. You can actually take us over.
That's classy shade.
Oh, she said, you current.
At least she said something. Like, that's the only thing she has is her fashions from this season. So I'm going to give her that. Absolutely. Because what else did a scholar have?
She's annoying to me.
She didn't really have anything else. I expected more. I wanted so much more from her.
I liked her, and then again, it's like she got double standards. Like she's calling out Mia, she's calling out Ashley, she's calling out Gizelle, but she won't call out Candice.
Right.
So to me,
it's a hypocrisy.
Yeah.
What's the problem with Mia? You said Ashley and what she called? You said Mia, Ashley, and who else? Karen. Wait, I forgot who was it. What's the problem with them?
Well, you know, she's looking at it, and I think a scholar's looking at it from the point of her and Wendy are both immigrants. Her and Wendy are both teachers, and so therefore she's seeing Wendy that looks exactly like her, and Gizelle and Robyn looking different, and she's probably feeling like, there's some nastiness going on because Robyn brought a scholar to the show, but a scholar is leaning towards more Wendy and Candice. So I think a scholar likes to stick to what she's used to, and I thought Robyn would be the person that she would stick to. So you can say that me is a flip-flopper, but a scholar flip-flopped on Robyn, and she even checked Robyn a little bit about her behavior, towards Wendy and what she's saying, and then a scholar basically can't wait to call out Mia, calling her out on Instagram and things of that nature, but she doesn't call out Candice's behavior. She doesn't tell Wendy to back down. She doesn't tell anybody that she's cool with, which is Candice or Wendy, like, calm down. Everybody else is wrong, but the people that she likes, she think is right. Candice was totally wrong over there at that, trip that Wendy threw.
Yep, she put her in the slave quarters. Yep.
She ain't no real friend.
She kicked her out the real. I think she's been spicy ever since then. She was hurt. She just knew she was about to stay in there, and she got shipped on out.
I know. And then her girl that brought her to the show, they chose Mia and not a scholar to be in there. If I was Robyn, I would have chose a scholar. I brought her on the show. She's my girl. Okay, I'll get to know Mia another day. I would have had her in the house. Why have Mia there? Because they were trying to get Mia on their team, but Mia can't be on a team with anybody because she don't know what the hell she doing. She just yappity yap, don't talk back.
She just lie, don't talk back.
She just yappity yap. Okay, so yeah, I'm just talking. I don't even know where we. Oh, so
we're talking about a scholar.
Yeah, I see her on the screen. She worked my nerves.
She's a pretty girl.
No, she's beautiful and she dresses well. But when she decides to interject, she doesn't interject from a part of, not being connected, but just saying of humanity, of peace, because that's where she's coming from, that she's Mother Nature. She's connected to the trees, to the forest, and she believes in uplifting. But when she jumps in and be shady or says her opinion, it's not coming from what she's trying to project to us. So that's the problem. Either you're going to be nasty and nice, just be nasty, or be nice, or be consistent and hold everybody accountable.
Or stand in it. Exactly. That's my thing. Be nasty. Just stand in it. Own it.
Right.
But pick a lane. We only got one. We don't have enough fence for you to be on it.
We already got Mia playing every fence that there is. You know what I mean? We already got her, and she's very rambunctious. And I would think that a scholar would speak up more and be more into it, but she was just so scary and so shy. She was quiet. Maybe
the first time too, though. You got to give her credit for that. It's the first time. They all act a little differently on their first go around with reality.
But what would you think if they had, like, say, the people that are making the decision? Who are they gonna keep between Ascala and Mia? Who would you think they would keep?
Mia.
What about you, Tia?
You said Skylar and Mia.
Yep. Who do you think they would keep?
Probably Mia. I used to forget. I said, y'all brought up her name. I forgot about this. I forgot about Skylar. I forgot about her.
Mia's got a lot going on.
Probably keep Mia.
Yep.
Maybe they might switch Robyn in her Skylar position. I don't know. And Robyn as the front of the show.
Lord.
Boring for boring.
Boring for boring. Lord have mercy. So now we get on to Candice. I did talk about her in the beginning of the video. So basically, Andy asks, when it comes to Candice, how is things working out with having your husband as a husbander, especially when his specialties are in the kitchen and cooking? And so Candice says, basically, Chris managed her behavior. He manages her behavior the way that she, he basically is her father. And she's basically...
He manages her what? Wait. Say that again. He manages her what?
Her behaviors. He manages her. And she had, you see how she was breaking down. So that's what she says about Chris. And then Andy asks, Candice, is she paying Chris? And she says she's paying Chris in love. Then Mia jumped into the situation saying that is street walking material and then Mia says she only speaks on things that she was familiar with. Because as you guys know, Candice called her a streetwalker at the women's trip that they had, the couple.
How do you shade yourself? How do you walk in and shade yourself? How does that happen? How do you talk bad about yourself and give an example from somebody else, which now they can come in and be like, yes, I did, and it's true. And you're like, yes, it is. How does it happen?
And then Candice, she responds and she say, yes. She said, being a WHO hockey stick. So basically Candice says, I was right, shading you and calling you a streetwalker and a gargoyle and everything that I called you was true. And Mia basically was trying to be shady and saying that, she admits that's what Candice is doing because she's paying Chris with what's downstairs below. And then Andy said, what do people think about, you write that Chris is writing your coattails? And
right.
And so you have that situation. And then Ashley jumps in because Ashley, this is Ashley's time to shine. Ashley able to get a shot. And Ashley said, well, Chris lost his restaurant because of the pandemic. Chris lost his restaurant because of the pandemic and it closed down. And he started to put on a lot of weight and he's been drinking a lot more. And then Candice says he's drinking a lot. So Ashley threw that shade in quick. What do you guys think?
Ashley be counting some drinks, boy. She don't do nothing else. She know how many drinks everybody had at lunch. She keeps some drink count.
I hope she ain't making no mistake making that man her manager. Please look at certain people when they make their husband or anybody they with managers. Tell that man to get a job. I don't think he's doing that free. I think she's giving him some money.
Well,
he's not doing that free.
He's probably a lunchroom cafeteria worker, something like that. He's probably passing out trays of food. Who knows? Working at your local nursing home.
I heard he started an Instagram where he was like doing little tutorials or something.
Yeah, he just started that because Candy Burris told him to do that.
Better come work at Blaze.
I know. Why would she hire him? She should hire him. Candice,
it's a win-win. They get some good food. They pass the inspector's exam. It's a win-win.
And then they can use it as a storyline.
Yep.
And then they can cross over storylines. That would be
and Candy is gold. We know that. Anything that she touch, it'll pop.
It'll pop. Everything.
At least he's in the restaurant that's staying open. This restaurant closed.
Yeah,
She comes to Candy restaurant. It ain't funny, but come on now. He looked bad on that show. They always talk about this dude. He broke. That's messed up.
He gonna come out and say, "I'm so tired of people calling me broke." Poor baby. Yeah, he does get the broke title.
But he don't live in New York. They might fight KX. Cause he can keep a restaurant. Can't act.
Oh, Mark.
He can work there. I mean, he can work together. He can open a restaurant over there. I don't know. So I'm just trying to help him out.
Well, Ashley shaded Candice very bad by talking about her husband gain weight. And you would think that Ashley wouldn't say that because Michael was really on her about gaining weight. And she was asking everybody, am I fat? Am I fat? Blah, blah, blah. And she basically shaded Candice's husband. So now if Candice want to ragtail you again, Ashley, don't come crying, okay? Because you shaded her husband.
I just realized Candace messed up because Ashley could have helped, and her and Michael, they could have done something with restaurant, right? Maybe that could have been a thing too.
I think their restaurant closed. Michael closed that restaurant down for some. I think it wasn't making money. It was just too much of a problem. He closed it down, but Chris still had his restaurant. Chris still had his restaurant.
I thought that wasn't his restaurant. I thought he just worked there. I
thought it was his restaurant. But in any event, when it comes down to it, when Ashley shaded Candice about about Chris drinking, you know, Candice was also shading previous season Ashley about her drinking and wanted to have a baby. So Ashley got her revenge by saying all Chris does is drink and he gained weight. So that was shade that Candice didn't even fall into. Candice let that go by. So if we think Candice can't let things go, she let that go because Ashley, oh no, she didn't let it go. She goes, you walked your big wide forehead self in, and then Ashley was like, we got the same type of forehead.
I saw a meme on Instagram that had them side by side, and they really do. It was almost what. It was real close. It was real close. It was like what to me. I think it just depends on the hairstyle. And when she pushes her wig, glue and stuff back, and Candace shows her real hairline, so we can't judge. We're not seeing her real hairline.
Ralph, what are you doing? Ralph is just being Ralph. Don't take Ralph personally. Don't cry over Ralph. Ralph is a good person. He's a good sport. He just come in and he just have fun with everybody in the comments. He's basically an angel. So don't take it personal. Don't get mad at Ralph. Ralph is good people. He's just joking around. He's just playing around. He don't even mean it. He just, he's like me. I don't be meaning half of the shit that I say. I just like to talk shit. We like to talk ish over here. That's just
shock jock.
Yeah, we're shock jocks, and she's a shock jock in the comments. That's it. He don't mean it. Don't take it personal.
It's a Wendy thing. Wendy Williams. Yeah.
What I want Wendy to come back. Wendy, bring your ass back. But be well before you come back, Lord. Okay, so we talked about the taxes. Like, we're on here for hours. You already know I can't really move or do nothing. I am just sick, as you guys don't even know how sick I'm feeling. Okay.
So did you get the goose grease and?
I gotta go. I'm gonna go tomorrow, but I've been using the remedies and stuff like that. But yeah, I couldn't even get up out the bed. Lord have mercy. I felt like I was sleeping on sheets. I felt like I was flying in the air. Like I had the comfortable mattresses and the comfortable mattress in the world. Like, I couldn't move. I never stay in a bed. I can't go nowhere. I'm stuck in my house. I got to wear a mask around my goddamn house. Lord help me, Jesus. And I put on gloves when I touch anything in my house. Like, it's like I'm tortured. So I just stay right here where I'm at. And so, that's why we on here like almost going on 3 hours. So I can't go nowhere. If I go downstairs, I got to wash everything down I touch with my gloves, spray the house with my, have my mask on and all this other stuff. So it's like I'm in my own little prison.
It's a suite.
Yeah, it's a
you got
suite.
Your own cottage. You got your own cottage
I got my own cottage. If I had a house like Will Smith and Jada Smith, I'll be living a life. You know what I mean? It won't be like this. Okay, so we talked about the taxes. Oh, and I got some tea. Y'all won't believe who is back together and posting on Instagram. These nasty mother suckers done played us. Erica Mena and Safari, y'all.
I'm sorry. They attention whores. That's what it is.
Oh, they broke up?
No, yeah.
Who they remind me of? There's a couple they remind me of. I forgot the couple name. I think it was somebody that was on Love and Hip Hop, one Love and Hip Hop franchise.
So all of that with the whole, that was all a storyline too for them then. The fight and all of that. That was also.
Yep, all that. Yeah, Princess and Ray J. Yeah, that's.
Princess and Ray J so damn bad. That's what they remind me of.
Yep.
Ray J dropped her off in Miami. Said, "You do this season. I'll be right back."
He never came back on the show. Ray J on Love and Hip Hop Miami. He introduced.
Yep, and dropped her off and caught the red eye back to Cali or Vegas.
Going to different franchises.
Okay, hold on. All right, pause, Miss T. What you say, Tia? You said that about. I didn't hear nothing you said.
No, I said I do not like Ray J or Princess on Love and Hip Hop Miami.
Okay.
I hate it when a cast member switch on franchise.
He's there.
I don't like Yandy and then DC's on no Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I didn't watch that season. I've been watching Miami season. It's boring, but I'm watching it. But
what happened is they're there to save. If Ray J was more present, he would. They're there when you see Ray J and you see Princess showing up at these different, franchise, and you see Erica Mena moving all over the place with Safari. They have more fans. They have more people that follow them. So basically, they're trying to revive the franchise. I don't think Love and Hip Hop Atlanta needed Erica Mena and Safari.
Nope.
But what Safari and Erica Mena were doing to each other publicly and all the stuff that she was crying about, he ain't at the hospital, he ain't here, he ain't this, he's no good, he's with this one. She even tried to get a girl attacked and all this other stuff. Now she's over there bolly-whopping everything, dancing with Safari. And Young Jock got married. Married.
Kendra.
Yep, he got married to her today.
Oh, he married Kendra. What?
Married her today. Yep. So
hopefully the marriage is good and hopefully it'll last.
Fingers crossed.
Congratulations. I didn't mind them ones. I didn't mind Erica and Safari on Atlanta. It would just been DC and Yandy. They just don't fit the damn show.
Yeah, they didn't need to be there either. They didn't.
It felt like I was watching I said only one episode. I felt like I was watching New York because New York went downhill. But I said, Atlanta went downhill too, but they bringing Atlanta downhill. Miami ain't that good either. So everybody, I'm tired of Trina ass. Oh, my bad. I'm tired of Trina Vaughn.
Trina.
I don't like her. I used to like her. But when she got on the show, I see the person who she really is. I do not like her, period.
I know.
I'll be like, Joy needs to go.
Yeah, she's got an angry, mean streak. And I said, I don't really watch it, but I watched the last episode and she was angry.
They go back to wrong people.
Yeah, she was mad last season too.
Yeah, I mean, Trina is very. Trina should have. You know what? Trina got to get her money. She's not gonna make any more money by making music unless she gets the right people to sign up. And then she had a beef with Nikki and all this other stuff. But
they still got the radio show, or did she overtalk herself and they lost it? They got fired because she overtalked herself, or was he overtalked?
And also, what's his name? This Mr. Trick Daddy. They both got fired. They canceled them immediately.
Because they overtalked themselves. Oh, I know. Oh.
She's coming at.
I know they both cry about that.
Yep, quick.
She's talking about some people that was rioting.
And then he was talking
about the people, about black people on black people, and not it was about the riots in Atlanta.
Don't get deep into that. So that one reason. And then Trick Daddy with the Beyonce situation. Then Trick Daddy talking about what he liked to do in his private life was disgusting.
His booty.
Oh, you got it.
What?
I don't even want to see you.
I didn't hear that.
Oh God. Yes.
What? Where was that?
He was all on Shade Room, Instagram, everywhere. On site, neighborhood talk, the Shade Room, YouTube talk, and describing it like, yo.
That is scary to me.
And then, not only that, Trick Daddy was at a club, and when he was at the club, he tried to force these ladies, to hang out with him because he brought them a $10 drink. Are you kidding me? Are we in the 90s?
Trick Daddy.
Are we?
That's right. And they showed Joe Brown doing the same. That's right. I remember
Yes,
that.
they
And they
got.
showed Joe Brown. Oh my God. Okay. Does he still have the restaurant? If people still buying food from him?
Oh, now his food is on point. You could tell, but
I know. Well, yeah, you could.
you can
But
tell.
are they still buying it from him?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, his restaurants are still on
Do
point.
people go to these food at restaurants?
Yes, they
Because
do.
that would make me think twice about going to the
They
restaurant.
do.
Okay.
They do. Okay, what she say? Faith Evans and Stevie J getting a divorce for real? I was wondering about them yesterday. Okay, let me see.
They were always an odd situation, but Faith likes. Because that was weird.
Unless this is coming up because Growing Up Hip Hop is about to air pretty soon. They got they got like 18.
LA.
Oh, yep, she's right. Okay, Stevie J. Let me see if I can put this on.
Boot camp. Love, here we come.
Oh yeah, Growing Up Hip Hop. That's my show. I love them people on that show. I love all
I
the
like the LA version.
Yes.
The version you born me.
Atlanta used to be the situation. Yep, they
Yeah,
are.
Atlanta, I said, you ever
What's the reason they're getting divorced?
Let's see.
When it comes to Atlanta, it's like they shows are going downhill. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Real House Atlanta, Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta. Because I said so many people in Atlanta, I can't get the cast right. It's like they didn't find anybody.
They messed up when
so many different people.
They messed up. It says Stevie J is throwing in the towel on his marriage to Faith Evans because he just filed for a divorce after 3 years of marriage. The record producer beelined it to Los Angeles County Superior Court on Monday and filed divorce documents according to online records. As we reported, Stevie and Faith got hitched in Vegas back in July 2018, tying the knot with an intimate ceremony in their hotel room. The wedding totally blindsided their friends and family. Stevie and Faith did not have any children together, and it's unclear at this time if there was a prenup. Oh Lord, they really getting divorced?
They protect your money, girl.
I hope she did protect her money.
Not that she got married in a hotel room.
This was a real marriage, like him and Jocelyn. That fake marriage they was having. He actually married Faith.
It says
protect her money.
The two have had their share of troubles over the years. As we first told you, they downplayed rumors about a rocky marriage around the time of their first anniversary. And in 2020, Faith was arrested for domestic violence after allegedly doing what she did to Stevie J. This will be the first divorce for Stevie and the second for Faith. We reached out to both reps, but both camps so far no word back. Oh shit, Major. See, this is what I'm talking about. Drop me some tea. Give me some information.
I think they said it's her second divorce. I think it's her third divorce because I remember she married Biggie Smalls. I think she married another guy after Biggie Smalls.
She married Biggie Smalls. She married another guy after that.
Third divorce.
Yes, this is her third divorce. This is her third divorce. Yep.
Y'all said they gonna write something. Peter right.
Yep, this is her third divorce because it was Biggie, then a guy that she was with for a few years that she has a child with, and I think the child that she has with that guy, and then she married Stevie J. So you're right, this is her third divorce.
And she married her son, Biggie's Biggie. I forgot the son name. The son, that's his own godfather, and he was friends with Biggie Smalls. I was like, why would she marry Stevie J? And he was friends with Biggie. That was that. I don't know what she was thinking.
Well,
Miss T, always looking after each other since the 90s.
Well, so somebody, excuse me, somebody said, I hope that they got a prenup, and then Miss T said they didn't get no prenup because they had their ceremony in a hotel room. Miss T, where you come up with that shit at?
I just read what you read. You said it.
She said they
in Vegas too. So that was a quickie marriage. In Vegas too, you really think they had a prenup? In a hotel room in Vegas? Okay.
No, I'm just saying that was just quick and witty and funny. She was like, they didn't have no prenup and no hotel room ceremony.
They had a checkout date though.
They did have a checkout date. Lord have mercy.
Back in January.
Yo, this is crazy. So thank you, Major. So yeah, this is okay. So I swear to goodness, I was going through my list of people that I talk about. I was like, yo, I was gonna say, like, I haven't heard nothing from Stevie J and Faith Evans. And I said this yesterday, and then boom, look, I knew something was going on. I knew something was going on because they've been too quiet because he's always posting videos to Instagram and everything, what he's doing. He's at home, he's in the house. What happened? Who you think messed up?
I don't know. I do not know.
Hey, Norris, Tony, how you doing? Faith and Stevie did not work out the first time they got together. They shouldn't have not gotten married. You're right about that,
Right.
Tony.
I don't know.
Maybe Mona Scott messed up because they didn't even appear on Love and Hip Hop very much. They were there for a little bit and then they disappeared.
They even had no connection on Love and Hip Hop.
Mm-mm.
Okay, where we at? So now we're back to Candice and her situation, which I talked about this early in the video. So, Candice is basically having problems with her marriage. She's having problems because Mama Dorothy and Candice are not getting along at this time and point because Mama Dorothy went around and campaigned and telling everybody on the cast that Chris ain't worth a $3 bill, and she can't believe that he got married to his daughter and then he gonna quit his job. And she went around Candice video shoot and basically telling everybody that Chris ain't nobody. Chris is this, Chris is that, he's a moocher, and all the ladies co-signed. And then Mia jumped in when Candice was explaining that, it's a difficult, hard relationship with me and my mother because of the things that she said and what she did to Chris, that, he doesn't ever want to talk to Miss Dorothy again. So when Mia interjected in a situation, she said, Mia jumped in and Mia said, people should have told Candice that her mother was going around talking about talking about Chris and things of that nature, instead of, basically pointing out that Mia asked Chris how he was getting paid. And then Wendy turned around and told Mia, won't you shut up? I was like, Lord, Wendy, what are you on? What are you doing? Wendy told Mia to shut up. I was like, what? She said, shut up.
Wait, hold on. She told her to shut up.
She said, shut up.
It had nothing to do with you. Are you telling her to shut up?
Because Mia interjected and said, instead of people going around and telling Candice that Mia was asking, Chris about how much money he get paid, Mia said they should have been telling her that Candice's mother is going around spreading her business. And then Wendy turned around with the nastiest face and said, shut up, Mia.
Wendy was not happy about that whole situation when it happened. You remember?
Yeah, she was mad.
She was mad that Mia even talked to her mother. So she's been, and then she couldn't wait till the video was even done to run over and tell Candice what happened. So I think she's been pissed off at the situation. But the fact is, Candice didn't realize, and I feel like she kind of owes me a small apology because your mama was the one who was talking to everybody. And they showed it on the footage. Your mama and everybody else was listening. That's the one now she's going to start to cry. And that's what I can't understand about Candice. One minute she's barking and she's the big bad wolf. And the next minute she's sad and meek and she can't. It's just so hard.
She needs help. You already know she got problems. Like I said earlier in the video, that Karen went to the producers and she went to the CEOs and said that you guys offer psychological help. Make sure you get Candice psychological help because the way she's coming after me, the way she's attacking me. And that's why Candice was so mad at Karen, because she felt like Karen was trying to get her fired. And so as you see this season, Candice ignored Karen and she doesn't say anything negative. Think about it. Candice hasn't said nothing negative about Karen in a negative way. And then when Candice is on Instagram, she said she don't watch the after show. She don't know what Karen says because Karen went over everybody's head, even Andy's head, to report Candice being unstable. And then that brings you back to the fact that Gizelle is saying when Candice goes off and she be wilding, it's not Candice inside. It's like somebody takes over. And then Candice said, no, it's still me inside. It's like they're almost campaigning to push Candice aside. They might give her a peach, or they might make her a friend of the show next season. So she would kind of learn, because Andy was trying to coach her. Andy was trying to get something out of her to say, okay, about these people complaining to Andy about Candice. He was like, yo, I wake up on Twitter every morning, or I wake up to Twitter and people are saying, fire Candice, fire Candice, fire Candice. And then you got to think about these people that are saying that. They don't look like me and you and Candice. They look like totally different people that are on his Twitter saying this to him.
This is the second time he also warned Candice. He asked her and warned her last season too. Candice's worst enemy is herself, especially off of the show. She goes extra, doesn't know when to pull up the brakes, which is concerning. It's very concerning because it's the hypocrisy for me. You just sit there and say one thing and then you're looking like, well, I don't understand. But he's given you warnings and he's asked you. And clearly, if Karen felt that way, it's because the girl didn't even remember she threw a butter knife. Like, what? Like, it's just, she goes from one extreme to the other, and she's very immature in the way she handles her emotions. So is she good TV? Yes. Does she need help? Yes.
Yeah, she needs help. Like, her husband is managing her behavior so she can do the things that she needs to do. That's not his job to manage her behavior. Why can't
and how's that working out?
Because she can't hire nobody else to work with her like that, because the things that she's going to say, the things that she's going to go off, and they will report that to the blogs. So the only person that won't backstab her is her husband. So that's why she has him as the husbander, and her mother telling her to stop it because, you know, Chris can use this when you guys get divorced. Because I don't know how Chris, I mean, it must be good at home with Candice because he's putting up with all of it. She embarrassed him every chance she gets. Yeah.
Yeah. Punch on the face.
I think Candice wished that Ashley would treat Michael like she treats Chris. I think that's why she doesn't have a little bit of respect for Ashley, because she's like, this is how you're supposed to treat your white husband. What are you doing, girl? Because she treats.
You said something that you said that Candice's mother said. You said something I was agreeing with. Michael uses it against her, like he your husband, he your manager.
Oh, he could use it against her, yeah.
So she's not paying.
There's no paperwork.
Earlier, like the Wendy Williams, you look at what happened to Mary J. Blige, she had that man manager her. Oh, you got your husband managing you.
That's
with
what
no paperwork.
Don't let them manage you.
That's what the mother said, because Miss Dorothy is saying that he can use that when he files for divorce and asks for wages and asks for different things from her. And that ultimately is going to come from the money that the mother put aside for Candice.
It also makes no sense because he doesn't, if you really want this to be your thing, your career, your new, you need somebody who knows what they're doing. Like, I get that, and he can still be there. He could still be your husbander, and he could have an assistant that knows what he's doing, or somebody that he checks in with that helps him. Because clearly, he doesn't know how to do this. He knows how to bake cake and cook up flambe and stuff. He doesn't know how to. This isn't his lane. So to expect him to do this and to be good at it and everything to work with no kinks is kind of crazy.
I just want to hear something for them, bro.
Yep.
And I only see it being like a fight. Why? Because if something goes wrong, you blame him. He doesn't know because he doesn't know how to really do this. It's a fight waiting to happen.
That's what the mother is saying. And Candice is like, no, this is not going to happen, because she believes they're going to be married forever. I hope they are married forever, but I don't think. How long he going to put up with that?
What she should do is listen to her mother, get another manager. There's nothing wrong with her husband, making sure her manager don't take advantage of her. And like he could be like a paper. You know, like people have a manager, and you got somebody that always got your back. Make sure you don't get taken advantage of in this industry. Make sure he ain't stealing no money from you. That's what he should be doing. He should be doing that. The people keep saying he riding her coattail because he's our manager. He needs to focus on his own damn career. That's what he needs to focus on. Because he definitely going to use that against her when they get divorced. I was her manager. I need a percentage of this. I need sponsor support, all this stuff. And she just don't see it. She probably didn't cheat. She probably don't want to hire no damn manager. She got to give him some money here and there.
Oh, yeah, so... Yeah, like my brain is confused because I'm like going everywhere. So where
do they
we
have
at?
paperwork? Do they
There's
have
no
like paperwork?
That's why Miss Dorothy is saying no, that there's no paperwork.
Okay.
So he can use what he did on the show and everything he's been doing. If they get a divorce and claim, you know, what is it? Spousal support and then extra money because he was working for her and she never paid him. And then Candice said that she pays him with love.
Well, there needs some paperwork written up that I pay him with love.
When they get divorced,
write that up.
Some people get mean. They be want money. They be out for blood. He not gonna be like, oh, she paying with love. People look at him like he's stupid. Like, okay, he's not gonna say that. She's not paying with love. She give him some type of money. She help to take care of him. That's what she doing.
You remember he said in one of the episodes, Candice told him to quit his job or what, I don't know what job he had. And then he said, well, if I have to do all that, then I'm going to ask for, you know, payment. I'm going to ask for a stipend. And so there you go. When it comes to the mother being right.
You know who I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about Tawana Braxton because she told her ex-husband to quit his job.
Well, Tawana Braxton.
You telling these people to quit their job?
She don't got no money.
That's not a good example. But he shouldn't quit it. He should be working on that and helping me at the same time. That could work. But clearly we need money. So I'm not going to tell you to stop working in your main profession. No, I'm going to try to help. You know, we need more money. If we get more money out of your cooking, then we could add that to the budget. See, it all works in hand. She's not even using, if we're a team, and Chris is crazy too. If we're a team, he should also be like, you know what? I would do better for our team if I were doing something else, not always helping you.
Okay, so then moving on from that situation, we get to the situation where, you know, Mia basically said that she's just giving advice and she was talking about the video. So Mia jumped into the conversation when Andy is questioning Candice about having Michael as her manager. And then Candice basically saying that he is managing her. And, you know, right now, Mama Dorothy and Chris are not getting along. Chris does not want to be around Mama Dorothy. He don't want to talk to her. He don't want to be around her, point blank, period. And then Andy's shady ass asks Candice, is his name on a deed? Like, Andy has asked a lot of intrusive questions. Like, Lord, he was like, is his name on the deed? And then Candice says, yes, his name is on the deed. So therefore, when he divorced you, Candice, he getting half of the house. You guys paid a couple of million for that house, baby. He's gonna get half of it if that comes down to it.
How much they paid for that house?
I forgot. I think it was maybe 2.1 million or maybe 1.5 million.
Did they pay her mother back for her half of the house?
Yeah.
That's what Candice said that she did when they sold their brownstone or their townhouse, and they used that money to purchase the mansion that they have. Then the mother came in. The mother got her own bedroom at the house. I guess she don't got her bedroom there no more because Chris don't want her around at all. And so Candice started to cry because now she can't have that relationship with her mother being at her house and all this other good stuff because Chris don't want her around. Chris is very disappointed that Mama Dorothy did the things that she did and said the things that she said. And so it's just one of them situations. I was like, Lord have mercy.
They got money like that.
Lord have Candice has a trust fund and her mother.
Yeah, that's why trust fund. That's why I said I know she ain't got money down. She got a trust fund.
And I guess.
Yeah,
she got
all that money on the houses.
Yeah, she got the trust fund. So yeah, he got kids. She don't, but with the trust. So with the trust fund, I think the mother dishes the money out or whatever the case may be. I don't think Candice can go all the way in and take everything. But in any event,
that's why Candice is sad. It's making it hard for her to get her money from her mama.
I know, but I'll take care of you.
Because I can see her mama tightening them purse strings. Oh, you taking? Oh, okay. You going with Chris? Okay. No money from me. for this or for little things that I used to do, because that's the way her mother controls her.
Yeah.
And then Mia was asked.
I'm like, don't stuck my face.
Then Mia was asked.
I did that.
Okay, 1 second. So then Mia was asked a question. Why did she call Candice video shoot a low budget? That's the question that she was asked by Andy, that an audience member or somebody a fan of the show asked. And Candice said, and then so Mia said, yes, it was low budget. You know, we all got to start from humble beginnings. And she said, look, the video shoot only cost $10,000. So therefore it was low budget. It's okay to say it's low budget. I was like, damn. So Mia, when Candice come in and start reading, she cried about being low budget, and she was really hurt that you said that, because as we know, Candice had her record label and she had the people that are promoting her song and her album on the show. The last thing she needed for another cast member to say that it was low budget, you know what I mean? Because she paid everything out of her pocket. Mia said it was
so
low.
She independent artist.
It was low budget.
Mia said it's low budget. You only had 10,000 racks, girl. You only had 10 racks. It's low budget.
She could have still done it differently and been low budget.
Ain't nothing wrong with low budget. Damn.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's just how she did it. She wasted money on different video shoot, different places. If you only have 10 to use, then we need to pick one location. We need to switch up what we're doing. We need to save money in different ways, not 3 different locations and these pleather pants. No, we need to only be in one location. Drake made that, well, this isn't a good example, but Drake made that Nice for What video. He made that by himself for 10 G's. Granted, he was doing it to prove, he was slumming it, but it can be done. But he only did that video is in one place, and you're following him around. So you can do it. You just have to know what you're doing. And again, that comes with having the right people on your team, which is important when you're starting.
So in any event, moving on from that situation, as you guys know, Ascala entered the stage, and then Ascala was asked by Andy. So Andy basically kind of shaded Ascala too as well. He said to Ascala that, you're calling everybody out for being rude, and you think Mia is rude, but you was rude to Karen Huger when you asked Karen Huger, does she drink too much or do she have an alcohol problem? And so Ascala respond basically saying, like, listen, I know I'm very direct and sometimes I can be too direct, but that wasn't my intention. My intention was, to ask her that question, but also at the same time, I should have pulled Karen to the side and asked her about, does she drink too much? So somebody told, which is Robyn or Wendy or Candice, told Ascala when she first entered her first scene on the show. Andy was like, your first scene on the show, you was disrespectful to Karen, asking her if she had a drinking problem. Ascala was like, yeah, I was kind of wrong about that. I should have just did it privately. So she had 2 moments, dressing Gizelle and apologizing to the Grand Dame. Grand Dame.
2 moments from the whole season.
2 moments. And so
he called out.
He called her out. Yes, he did. He called her out.
That was rude. And you don't even know this woman. That was
Andy
rude.
was shady, baby.
He called people out. Damn, Andy.
Yeah, he was calling them out.
Do that more with the White Housewives too.
Andy trying to get his in before Nikki come out there and make him look bad.
And then Candice said,
I hope when she come out there, she actually do something. It just sound like a waste of time.
And then Candice said, if Candice was asked about what she said about Mia's mother being low budget, did she know that Mia's mother was going through some things or had some issues? Candice said that if she knew about Mia's mother and all her adversities, she would have, ragtagged her on something else. And Candice basically saying in the Black community, we joke, we tell mama jokes, we Jones in and things of that nature. And so, that's what Candice said if she would have known at that point in time. And Andy said, And then, and then Candace said, I was nice to her. I was lightweight. Like, she better be grateful. And she's ungrateful because I could have went in all the way on her. Then Andy felt a certain type of way. He was like, what you mean that Mia is ungrateful because you called her mother low budget and you could have said worse? And so Andy was like complex. He was shocked about, the way that, Candace responded to the situation. And he was like, ungrateful? How can you say that she's ungrateful? And Andy said to Candice, if someone called your mother low budget, you're supposed to thank them because they called your mother low budget? Because Candice was saying she better be glad I didn't drag her mother all the way up and down the street. Then Gizelle says she feels that the way that Candice responds to people is so messed up and it's not justifiable how Candice responded to Mia. And so Gizelle jumped in and saying this at the same time that, Andy is on Candace's back. So it looks like, not Robyn, but Gizelle is double teaming when it comes to Candace. She's throwing Candace all the way under the bus while Andy is trying to check Candace's behavior. And she's saying if Mia would have did anything that she wanted to do, she wanted to bop, she would have totally understood that. And Candace said, well, hello, welcome to the stage. This is what we do. We drag people. We talk about people. This is how we act. This is what we do. Andy asked Candace, how is it working for you, the way that you respond to people? And, Candace didn't have a clue to the situation. She was like, it's fine. Andy said, how is it working for you? And so Andy wanted a different response from Candace. He wanted to see, some type of, backing down. He wanted to see her to be a little bit apologetic or basically explain why it happens, or she's going to try to do better and not reading people down to the ground. And, Candice, Candice is not going to fold. Candice don't fold. So, she was like, she felt like it's working fine. And Andy said to Candice, you almost was physically attacked last year. And Candice said, so is that my fault? Andy said, you are the common denominator. And Candace said, everyone has got things and everyone says nasty things and everybody reads people. It's just because I do it better. And then Karen jumped into the situation. Well, girl, no, you don't do it better than me and Gizelle. And I was like, Karen said, you don't do it better than me. She said,
I don't know about that.
I know. She said, you don't do it better than me and Gizelle. I didn't like that. I don't think it's true. I think Candace.
They got stale reads too.
Candace got the best reads, but last season when Wendy was coming for Karen had the immaculate reads. But in any event, she simmered down this season, and so and then Ashley said, well, Candace, you came after me at your house and you was flinching at me like you was trying to do something. So now Ashley, she jumps into the situation while Gizelle is double teaming Candace and saying, Candace, your behavior is just so out of pocket. And now you got Ashley, she jumps into the situation, said, yeah. And then Andy was like, what about the butt of this, the butt of that? You know what I'm trying to say? And so then Ashley was like, yeah, you was flinching at me. And so then, now they're basically calling out how tragic Candace's behavior is. And now and everybody's saying like, oh my God, Monique is not the problem. It's Candace.
Duh. It's the hypocrisy for me. You're the main component.
I think Andy doing it now because people called him out. That's how he did Monique.
Yep.
He's like mad because she quit the show. They didn't fire her. She left.
Yep.
Because he wanted her to come back. And she didn't come back because Andy Cohen and all the other
Andy likes mess.
Treated her.
Andy likes mess, and it's the hypocrisy. I mean, they could see it too. Candice makes good TV because she's so irrational and makes no sense in what she's saying. So she makes great reality TV, but in the real world, not so much. But I think he's getting a little bit sick and tired of her not being able to reel it in on social media.
Yep.
That's the problem, because you're the whole show isn't on the show, and you do too much, especially for people who don't deserve it, and you just keep going. I think she does know how to read, but she needs some new material too. Yeah, your mama, okay, that's something that's a quick one. But if you could go, I think a read is good when it like goes into depth and has different meanings, and we're like, oh, so your mama's a quick comeback, but as in the land of reads, she needs a new material. That's why when she was like, well, your mama is low budget, it didn't hit as well. Now it just feels like you're picking on her.
So, in any event, moving on from that situation, Ashley jumped in, and then Candice basically said, you brought your big forehead face to my house. And then Ashley was like, we both got a big forehead. Like, well, our forehead is the same, girl. So what are you talking about? And then Andy said that he wakes up to tweets, basically everyone asking him to fire Candice. He wakes up to the same tweets all the time. People saying, fire Candice, fire Candice. And she's still not getting what he's trying to say to her. And then, we find then that's when Candice, she takes the ball and she throws it at Mia and say, Mia, you tried to say that if your mother relapses, my fault. That is so low down. And then on top of that, you use your mother for a storyline. And then Wendy jumped in and said, yes, I didn't agree with that. She's using her. She said that if her mother relapses because of you. So basically, she's not taking in what Andy said, and she quickly went back to take a shot at Mia. And so I don't know if Andy's too thrilled with Candice.
He just did that because he got backlash. That's why he only did it. But I said, I was looking at Wade like, shut up. Let it stay between them two. Ain't got nothing to do with you.
Right, you're not helping. You're not helping.
Because she said, my mother relaxed. You gonna have to see me outside. You gonna fight for Candice?
But that's also not fair. Mia, let's stop. If your mother relapses, first she has to watch about 6 episodes of you and your husband trashing her before she gets to Candice comment. So if anything, Candice does have a point. You are the one who brought your mother on here. So you're the one that's opened her up. And if your mother, it's reality. If you want to do drugs, then you're going to do them. Whether Mia says something or Candice says something, that's not fair to put that part on Candice, because that's not true. I don't think that Candice has that much power in Mia's mother's mind. She doesn't hold up that much space to make her do anything.
Okay, Major, the comment about Ashley saying that she's Darby Barbie. Oh, I read it down in filth in the beginning of the video. So, in any event, so we got Major. I think Major just said that the house does not have what's his name, Chris' name on the deed. It says the house is owned by a trust. So in any event, that must be Candice Trust. That means Miss Dorothy is still looking out for her daughter because her daughter is a fool. Candice is a fool, and she's not smart at all. Even though she got degrees and she got education, she's not smart at all. So that's why it's in a trust, because Mama Dorothy know her daughter has limitations.
And she don't trust that man over there.
She don't trust him because he ain't. Well, we haven't heard of Chris cheating on Candice, but at the same time, he don't have a job now. And, he's making videos and doing things of that nature. Candice told him to write a book. Candy Burbers told him to write a book, and he needs to focus more on his cooking, and he needs to do more videos about his cooking. And these guys said that he is. So in any event, Miss Dorothy's looking at, Chris as an old man trying to find his way after all these years, and he don't got it together, and she feels like her daughter's being taken advantage of. But I just think that, I guess Chris is a better man to be with her, because anybody else, will handle Candice in a whole different way. They wouldn't put up with the things that she's doing and saying. And we don't know how the relationship is at home, but she definitely don't respect that man in public or probably at home either, because she was on Instagram. She disrespects him on Instagram too, in front of everybody.
And they keep trying to blame what's his name? What's that guy? What's her husband's name? I forgot her damn husband's name.
Chris.
The guy I forgot his name. The mother keep on blaming him. Like her daughter is a little girl.
She is.
He ain't forced her to do nothing she don't want to do.
But if you look at Candice, the way she dressed, the way she talks, she's really tiny, she's really small. And to me, she fits the idea of a Candice Barbie. more than Ashley fits a Barbie. And I think she just has a little girl's mentality and a very ignorant mentality, how she talks to people and think that there's no backlash, that she could say what she wants to say to people and get away with it. But at the same time, people do disrespect her, but they are on the surface. But at the same time, you can't say how a person can respond to you. But when you are on a national platform that's syndicated, you have people following you, you're on Twitter, you're on Instagram saying the most horrible things because they're saying that to you, and makes you less than, because you should be above that. I'm not a huge person on and social media. I get all types of disrespectful things. People disrespect me. I don't even bother. Like I got better things to do than respond to you, you know? And you would think that she would be better than that. But at the same time, when you get hundreds and thousands of these people coming for you, and I would just use, what's her name, Cardi B. Like, I understand why Cardi B responds, because she got a million people hitting her up, talking the worst reckless to her. But to be beyond that, to be better than that, is more enlightened. And that's why you see Beyonce that don't do that. She ain't got time to beef with somebody in her comments. Come on.
Right, you get to a certain level and you don't have to entertain everybody. That should show you right there what level she's at.
She's very low level. She's, you know, what you would say, she's very low vibrating, because she could, to me, I always thought that Candice could be the star of the show. Her reads are on point. Her dressing, other than her wearing the same jeans that we think that she wore twice, other than that, she has everything. She can sing, you know, she was in a pageant, she can dance. You know, she could do a whole lot of things. And then on top of that, she graduated from college. She's back in school getting her doctor's degree as well. She has a lot to offer, but she chooses this low vibration mentality to respond to others. She can shade and read real lightly and keep it going, and everybody will be posting memes. But people don't post memes of Candice Reed like that, because they're so hard and they offend people. Because when she reads down and she's offending somebody, a lot of people are in the positions, or you know, feel like, yo, that could be a read for me. So she has to find a level, and that's what Gizelle was trying to tell her. And then I wouldn't take anything Gizelle says, because Gizelle was low down and dirty. Andy called her out. He said, you was clowning Karen for a whole season. Now it is your turn to get clowned. Don't Jamal owe $800,000? I fell back.
It pissed Andy off.
Yeah, Andy got so much backlash, so I think that's why he's acting the way that he's acting.
Yeah.
He was yelling at Candice to basically saying, you're the common denominator. You're involved in all these situations. What'd you say?
He's going too hard.
Andy says, Candice, you are involved in so many different things. You are the common denominator. And she did not even.
She said, is it my fault I was attacked?
Basically trying to make him feel bad. He felt back a little bit. And then she goes, oh, you know, you can't, people come from me. I don't attack people. They attack me, and then I go at them. I don't know. See, I have to think about it. Does Candice actually go after people, or do people attack her first and she attacks them? That's the question. I can't really think. My brain, you know, I'm sick. So
I think it's a little both. I think it's just that if they do attack her and she comes back and they come back, it's just that she comes back and she goes for the jugular. Some people, when they fight to the death, right? And so that's how she fights. So as soon as she realizes they're in a fight, she's going to the death. So whoever started it, Candice is always like, I'm gonna finish it. And that's where her problem is, because she always wants to finish it. And sometimes she ends up finishing herself because she's trying to finish the other person, and it backfires on her.
All right. What about you, Miss T?
That was me.
I mean, Miss Tia.
I agree with Miss T. Miss T said. I said, Candice, she just be going. I was looking at that whole thing like, Andy, oh my God, how he was coming at her. Like, it was like he was like her father, or like a teacher yelling at her.
Yeah, he was mad.
Like she did it to him. Like he was mad. Like it was him in the hot seat. She was talking about his mama. Andy was mad.
I was thinking, well, it just gives people that keep saying all the time about Andy, how he go hard on certain people. He go hard, who are too hard on. He treats certain housewives different.
Yeah. Because all this smoke, he should have had that for Erica.
He go harder on a black housewife than he go on a hot housewife. I seen that video, somebody was talking about it, and I ain't never see that video where Charrisse pushed him. She pushed the shit out of him. He didn't get in trouble or nothing for that.
Well, that was the first season, but yeah, she sure did. She pushed the table. Like, they're much more violent. And I think he's just doing that, too, because he got a lot of backlash from the Erica situation, because he didn't go hard on her and ask her any questions. So I feel like he does. He has his picks and chooses of who he lets get away with things and who he doesn't. That's why I believe what Nene said about Bravo and how they act. Absolutely. I believe what she said, because it's reflected in how they move.
Another thing he did that got on my nerves was when last season when he was talking to Monique and he was talking about husband. So how you talking about that black man like that? Oh, he don't make that much money how he used to. I don't see him talking about any other white housewife husband like that. He was just talking about people that's so disrespectful because he a white man.
All right, you can't say Caucasian. Don't talk about race because Yeah. It's one of them situations. But I understand what you're saying. And that's when Monique felt, she was like, he has a portfolio. So that means he has all types of investments, property, and land. And she was like, this little check that I'm getting, it's just my spending money. So, now we got that situation.
He was pissed about that too. He wants you to grovel. He wants you to need this job.
And so with you guys saying that he wants you to grovel, and we know Candice is a mess, but she didn't grovel when Andy was trying to tell her that she needs to calm down. How's it working for you? You're the common denominator. She didn't grovel. She cried a little bit and she went towards Mia. So I give her that she didn't grovel and she didn't bend down to the masses in that situation. But even though she is a problem, and like Katie Pot 2 says, Dot is very involved in Candice and goes where she goes. Dot was at the video shoot, even at the record label company. Candice's mind is childlike and her mother stays in mama bear mode. And so that is facts. That's what I think. Because I don't know what's up with it's the way that Candice was raised. So we can say Mia was raised this way, but Candice was raised in a house like, why is Candice like this? Like, she don't have to be like the way that she is. Like, she doesn't have to even dig down in the dirt to get somebody, because she had a blessed life, but something had to be unblessed. And it's her mother that was basically, self-diagnosing her at the dinner table, at the lunch table. So her mother has a lot to, to play into where Candice is at today. And maybe her father do too as well, because he went and got a whole new family.
Yeah, she's definitely got some issues. And isn't her mother a psychologist or something? Yeah. So she knows how the mind works. So I'm sure she's been running game on Candice for years because she knows how to do it.
And I think that messed up Candice. Hey, what's up, Information Man Show? What's up? How you doing? You guys go please show Information Man Show some love. He talk about the history. He talk about us. He talks about uplifting things. He's a good dude. Go show him some love. Neff says, Andy said, kiss my ring. I know, Neff. Andy wanted Candice to kiss his ring, and she didn't. She didn't. She didn't.
I'd have been mad if she did. I think she complained. I heard that she complained about it, but I don't know if she did that at the reunion. Like and complaining, y'all gonna stay on this damn show and let him treat y'all like that.
But I don't think that Candice, he's saying all this, but Candice afflicts emotion from people where they take the time out their day to go to Andy's Twitter to say fire Candice. So that means that they're still going to tune in. It's like watching a Game of Thrones when you have a villain that you can't stand, but you keep watching. So I think that is her saving grace to stay on the show. But like someone said in the comments, if Candice's music career takes off, she don't need the show. But I don't know if her music career takes off. I hope it does. Like, why would I wish bad on Candice? You know what I mean? She ain't did shit to me.
Because I want all of these people and all the ladies to be successful.
Wait, her music career?
This show over. I want them to keep making money.
Okay, what you say, Miss T? I know you're about to share. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. You said music career?
Her music career. She got an album out, girl.
Oh, okay.
So what?
Okay. She's got a career then. That's fine. Okay.
Well, she's starting her music career. She's starting a music career by shooting her video. And
a low budget.
And then Ashley Darby said her song is better than Candice. Ashley, your song is trash.
Of course she's gonna say that. I forgot. I've never seen that video of her rolling around in the bed singing. I missed that. I was like, what is this? That doesn't look very high budget. But see, that's how you do it. It's one location. We're in the bed the whole time. She's rolling around. She's at the left. She's at the right. This is how you make a cheap video. Bam, right there. It doesn't I bet you her video costs probably less than yours. And it looks better because it's in one location. It's just her. You got a little smokiness going on. That's how you're supposed to do it.
What's up, Ray the Boss? And Katie Pot 2 says, yes, she's a psychiatrist, not a psychiatrist. But I'm saying that Dottie, her mother Candice said that her mother used to diagnose her at the table. Any behavior that she used to do, her mother used to read into the behaviors and tell her she's this, she's that, she has this, she has that. So that affected Candice a lot, where I don't think Candice had actually grown. So to be honest, it's like Candice and Mia have the same issues. They should be friends. They have same childhood. They have issues growing up as children by their parents. And so they should have a lot more in common than they don't. Other than Mia went to the strip club and did what she had to do.
But they kind of think the same too, right? So I think that maybe in their world, you see that as a threat. Like, there can't be two of us. We can't have two of the same thing going on. And maybe it's reflection and you see yourself. So maybe that's another reason that she's like, yeah. Well, actually, I don't think Candice thinks that deep. Let me take that back. I don't think she thinks that deep into it. I think she just doesn't like her. And she needs to have somebody not to like. And Candice it's an easy target. I mean, Mia's an easy target.
Mia made herself an easy target too.
Yes, by lying and not keeping her story straight and starting mess with the girl that didn't need to be started. Absolutely. But Mia came because she knew that you better do something. At least Mia knew that much. You got to make an imprint on your first season, which she did, whether we think it's good or bad. She did that. We're talking about her because we're not talking about that other girl. What's her name?
Ascala. We talk about your fashion. You got to be more than that, Ascala. You got the fashion. Marlo had the fashion, but Marlo had the reads down too as well, which Ralph was talking about. She had the reads down too as well.
Just got a peek.
Yep.
And how many years later? Damn.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you, Miss T. Thank you for joining the StreamYard. Thank you, Tia, for joining the phone call. And also, Neff, thank you, too, as well, for joining. I appreciate each and every one of you guys in the comment section, giving your thoughts and your opinion. And I take it in. And your opinions and your thoughts is all good. I don't got a problem with it at all. Whether you disagree or agree, we all just be talking our ish. And thank you guys so much.
No problem. Now I got to go watch Black Ink.
No problem.
Oh, yeah. It's today. I'm so sick. I didn't even know today was Monday.
Wow.
It is Monday.
Yeah, we'll go get some rest, child.
All right. Good night, guys. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Stay best, everybody.
Thank you, Danielle. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you.